the camera and getting Todd in remotely. I really appreciate that. All right. Pastor James, you want to open us up in prayer?
I would love to. Let's pray. Father, thank you so much for this exciting time of summer where things are changing. The weather is obviously changing. Our habits are changing with work or vacations and trips. But Lord, through all this change, you are faithful and we are able to walk with you continually. Please bless this board meeting as we kind of get down to brass tacks of making some changes, some policy updates, and figuring out how to do small details here at the church. They may be small on paper, but they have big impacts on people's lives. So we ask that your name would be glorified in our decisions and that things would be efficient and helpful. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Special welcome to Gary Billings. Thank you for joining us today. Other than Gary, I think this is the same old crew. So I think you're familiar with kind of the meeting flow and whatnot. So thank you for jumping on. Thank you for being part of the board. Thank you for stepping up, and thank you for joining us tonight.
All the above.
Okay, so has everybody read the minutes from last month's meeting? I think I printed out 2 copies if anybody needs them. Is there any amendments, any alterations anybody needs to make?
Name changes, spelling mistakes.
Oh. Never gonna be your guy for pointing out spelling mistakes. Nobody's got any alterations? Can I get a motion to adopt them? Thank you, Ross. Ross, can you state your name for the record, please?
Stand, please.
Anyone want a second?
Yeah.
Krista, thank you.
Yep.
All in favor? Spectacular. Any opposed? Gary, I imagine you abstain? Yep. And
I
then,
have a suggestion.
yes, please.
Cheryl, you said that Pastor James and Steve and James are exited to go to the assembly. I
Oh,
thought you meant
see?
excited.
I know, I can count on you, Todd. Where was
Just for
that?
fun.
Whereabouts? Oh, I see it right now. Thank you very much.
Oh, exited, yeah.
I will make sure that I change
Exited
that
to go.
on the. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Todd. And then I apologize, it's not on the agenda, but Cheryl reminded me we need to approve our minutes from our congregational meeting. Now, I haven't seen those yet. Oh, there we are. How many copies did you print off?
I have. I think I'll just have this one.
I'll have to abstain because I wasn't here.
That's
And
right.
it wasn't recorded, right?
Yeah, I only have this one here. But if somebody wants to look at it, as long as they get it back.
That one was just to vote
Absolutely.
on the
Thank you very much.
nominating report. Is that
The
what it
nominating
was?
report, yes.
Yes.
And then I'll let that pass around, then you guys can all have the scan over. While you're doing that, I have all the ballots here. Just for information's sake, there was, Darko, what did I say? Was there 18 no's? I have it here. I didn't rewrite it down.
Yeah, you sent the email, I forgot.
There was about 18 no's and a few abstains, but they were sprinkled. There was no one person that stood out as they got 17 of the 18 voted no's against. They were fairly sprinkled out through all the nominees. And I think basically every nominee except 1 or 2 received at least 1 no. So I'm encouraged that there was no one person that was, that had a whole bunch of X's stacked up. And people are looking at them. And I'm assuming there are various reasons for people wanting to vote no or abstain. I could see somebody voting no for as simple as, I don't know that person. And to be honest, I think a lot of people might hedge their bets and go, I don't know that person. And if things go south, I want to be able to say, I voted no. I just had a feeling. So I'm sure there's a little bit of that going on, but nobody wrote anything else in like, no, because they've been caught embezzling, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Does anybody want them, or do we need to keep them, or can I throw them in the shredder at work? There's no names on here. They're just anonymous ballots. Or does anybody want to look at them, audit them, review them?
I'm good.
Destroy.
Just put make a motion to
I'll try to
destroy
find
it.
out who put no next mine.
You want to look through them, they're all the top, but there's nobody.
There's actually 5 on there.
There's no name on here, and nobody signed nobody signed any words, so it's gonna be pretty hard to get penmanship from a check mark.
I'm just curious, because I've been here, curious to know as far as process, how did it go?
It was smoother than I expected.
Yeah.
We did throw it out there if anybody had any motions from the floor and nobody had so
Yeah.
much as a question. It was,
And then with the ballots, like,
Yeah.
I think, cause we didn't know the day of, right?
that's right, yeah.
Was there any concern about that?
The ballots were received well. I think logistically, I think next time we should do the ballots with a big yes to all box on the top. And let people just, if they are, hey, yes to all, let them check the yes to all. I'll put it in. And I think that would make counting a lot faster. Even as I'm going through them later, I was like, oh,
That's
it's
a
really
great idea.
tedious.
Yeah.
Good
And then
idea.
people are,
I was thinking.
people are scribbling out their yeses to nos, like the amount of scribbles and rewriting on a yes or no ballot was kind of
Yeah,
insane.
either yes, you approve it all or no, you
I
don't.
think the one question that came up was, are the new people that are coming on board, were they told they have to, sign
Sign
the,
serving in ministry, that's right.
service ministry?
Yep.
And that was to be done if they were afterward,
Yeah, well, I
if
think
they.
the question was,
I think
if
that-
we verified they've all signed the serving in ministry, and then the answer was that they may or may not have, but in order for them to.
They'd be
They
obligated.
would-
Yeah, they're- yeah,
That
start
was the only
the roll,
question.
Well, they've been, the ones that haven't have been sent an email
Oh,
and
there are some,
requesting them
okay.
to, quite a few.
There was a recording of that meeting. It's on our BoD Board of Directors YouTube channel, just in case if you wanna check it out.
Okay, and I was just curious then, and also in terms of like, after the fact, that I don't think I was here the polling center, still at West. Did we make an announcement, like, of the results?
I wrote a news and views article about it.
Okay,
We didn't do an email blast. I guess that might have been a
I
good
was-
idea, but
yeah.
no, we didn't make an
so I was
announcement.
waiting for some kind of a formal,
That's-
for myself.
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
get The result, or I called my brother, and he said, yeah,
Okay.
everything was fine, so.
No, good call. I
Maybe,
didn't- I
maybe
didn't
the
think of
next
that, yeah.
time, maybe we just send a phone
Absolutely.
email.
It's nice, that full page of the whole, all the committees and everything like that. It's very handy. for
Yes, that
people
worked out well, yeah.
to hang on their fridge. So we need to make a motion that we destroy those?
Yeah, I think that.
I would like
Dave?
to have a motion, please, so we are covered.
Dave makes a motion, wants a second? Ross for a second, all in favor? Okay, spectacular.
And then, sorry, regarding process again, is this something we foresee doing, like, going forward? Because I think some people were also, but some of the comments I received were, it would just been nice to know that this is the format that we're doing, going into
Nope,
it.
fair
So,
enough, yeah, yeah.
so maybe, I don't know, the next time we do have a business meeting, we should identify if we are gonna be doing, I guess, open ballot or closed ballot system.
I see. Nope, good call.
Yeah.
We will start with that for sure.
Thank you. I do think, by the way, that is the right thing to do, because then you can vote your conscience and not feel awkward about it.
Yes.
And we do
exactly.
our best to inform people ahead
Yeah.
of time, so they have a full 2 weeks of ballot being available.
Do we have like a mail-in ballot procedure for people that are stuck up?
We talked about that and we declined to send it out because then we couldn't necessarily finalize it on Sunday. It would add a whole thing to it. And there wasn't a huge thought that there was a risk of us not making quorum anyway. So that since we're very likely to meet quorum and it's not really addressed in our constitution, what do we do about mail-in ballots, remote ballots, email-in ballots? And since nobody had expressed any concerns ahead of time for us to think there was any reason why, some, an appointment or another might be contentious, we've decided against it, but,
Sounds good.
we can detail that out later too, once we find, get a procedure for ballots locked into.
I was just curious. Sounds
Another
like you guys talked about
procedural,
it.
another procedural thought from me is that the motion to destroy the ballots should be made after the election and at that same meeting. By that, it's a church meeting. The church should be voting on that.
Business.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good point. That would, yeah, absolutely. Didn't even cross my mind at the time, but yes, that's a good point.
Before the meeting ends.
Yes, exactly.
Make a
So,
motion to
yeah.
destroy the ballot.
Okay, has everybody got a chance to skim through the minutes then as they went around the room? Does somebody want to make, oh, yes, sorry.
So, and then I want to ask, I think if you have the check at the top, it would be much faster, that if you just got a general yes. to all, yes
And we
to
can
all.
still put no's down here. If somebody had a specific no, they could do that. They wouldn't check the yes to all, they just say no.
Then you
Three-quarters of the ballots and then
And
just.
then if you hit your, what is it, what percentage you hit for approval?
Recall, it's 50
Do we
or
know?
5, 60.
Anyone know?
Anyone
What
know?
is the, what is
Nobody
the,
has more than I think 4 or 5 votes.
yeah, I'm just thinking for approval candidates. Does
I think
anyone
it's,
know?
I think it's 2/3. I
Two-thirds?
could be wrong.
I'm saying in theory, if it's 2/3 with the yes to all, you could actually,
Good point.
at the meeting,
Yep,
you
that's
could
right.
say, we've done a quick review.
That's
And we won't
right.
need more time,
good point.
right, rather than having to go after the fact, so I'm just thinking out loud that maybe next time, that would be
That would
great.
make things a lot
Yeah.
easier, yeah.
And then we could destroy the ballots right after the meeting.
Okay, great ideas, thank you. The time I'm done, it'll be perfect.
About 3 years.
With regards to follow up to last month's meeting, then, the only item I have flagged here is our letter to Brenda. We had kind of had an informal framework finalized for it, and we had talked about maybe doing a motion and a vote over email, to finalize the draft copy and send it out.
That letter.
I do. Yes, I made enough copies for everybody. So this, we didn't get the motion done and adopted via email, but I did print off enough copies for everybody, and the last changes are highlighted here. So this doesn't reflect every change, as we did make a couple of changes along the way. Do you want to see rather? But the last changes are highlighted there. It's both letters are just collated in one together, so you can take them to pass along, yeah.
I feel bad.
Yeah, I get that one too. Was there any changes?
No, nothing since the last one that went out. I just reprinted
Okay, yeah.
what it was.
It's
Oh,
two
there's
letters.
2 letters, that's why.
Yeah, there's the formal release letter and then like that personal.
Okay.
Yes.
I mentioned this last time and I'll just remind us, like, when this gets mailed, let me know because I would like to control the access to church's email system and I just want to protect her. I would like to remove that.
Absolutely.
But we have to work with existing office, how to do that. So let me know when you mail it.
Perfect, will do.
I emailed the payroll company
Oh, okay, yeah.
and I'll just wait for a response. I just said we're in the process of this. And I'll need direction on what to do, because I don't think we just want to write a check. Because it's the amount she needs to report it for one, so it should go through payroll.
Right, yes, yeah, no, it should be
To get
towards it at some
deductions,
point, yeah,
et
so you can afford it, yeah. Don't know if it's paid out at one time, almost like a bonus, or maybe there's a separate designation for severance pay, or
Mhm.
sure they'll know. If you're already better.
So I don't have a copy in front of me here, but what was settled on for the date for her response?
I wrote June 30th down here. That's a week from today. If we finalize it and sign it tonight, send it registered mail, that should give her plenty of time. Obviously, we can give her a few flex days after that, but it was nice and clean at the end of the month. We can change that if we need to.
I think it will be fair a little bit longer than just a week. That's my opinion.
I think she's expecting it though.
I don't think,
No.
I think it's-
she's got lots of.
You said 5 days?
No, but she has to get it.
Normal? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
but
so.
if you send it registered, it'll be there the next day.
She's in the city. We sent it registered mail. It'll be there the
Yeah.
next day, yeah.
Costs a few bucks, but it'll be there.
Todd, I just emailed it to you.
Okay, great, thanks.
Happy with it. I have a copy without the highlights on it and without the internal footnote on the bottom. I could sign it right now and we can send it off to the mail tomorrow, but if we want to make some changes, we can make some changes.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
Like, there's a font difference between the two, do we care?
I noticed that. I kept it the way it was, so they were
Yeah,
kind of
that's-
distinctly two
Yeah, I
separate
think that-
letters.
It was
I
in
kinda like-
that area, but it is.
No, I mean, I actually,
It's strange,
yeah,
yeah,
one is one
Like
like
a
one
kid's.
letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's true.
Like I said, I was prepared to make a motion the other night, so I'll move. Second.
Dave, second, all in favor? Okay. Wonderful. I got a copy here. We can sign it before we leave and hopefully drop it in the mail tomorrow. Great. Thank you all. Reminder to update your, any notes, any minutes, anything that you've got for the end of your committee, even though most committees are not turning over to somebody new this year. It's still a nice, good time, first of the year, so to speak, new year, so to speak. to make sure all your files are updated on the drive. And I say that not as one who's perfect, as one who has a lot of files they need to update on the drive. And I will do that as well, but please make sure you update those files. Is there anything else from our meeting last week that we need to follow up with? Anyone wants to discuss?
I do have a new item for this meeting, but nothing.
Okay.
Like to add to the agenda? To add to the agenda?
Yes, please. The security door entry.
Want to go ahead with it? Sneak it in right here?
Yesterday, I finally received the second quote. Just to remind everybody, last year we got the grant from a government to upgrade our doors to fob style. And we used the full amount of grant last year, so we did front door and community outreach center door to keep it within a certain grant amount. They installed fairly simple fob readers, basic. And Danny Blatta Jr. was kind enough to apply for that grant on our behalf one more time, and this year, and we got authorized again. I believe it's $7,500.
About 74.
74.75. So basically, we went to the same company that installed last year's, and we asked them to give us a quote, couple of separate quotes, but the biggest idea is to upgrade this west entrance door to the same fob system. So it just any door you go, the same fob will work. And biggest update to the existing one that we found kind of not necessary, but it would be useful to upgrade the front door to camera style, where office would see who's at the door. Then it doesn't have to be open all the time. Person can ring the bell. Secretary sees the person on a camera, can buzz the person open, same as the apartment building style.
You could do it on your phone too, like.
You can do it from your phone as well,
Nice.
yes. Interestingly, either prices did go up significantly since last year, or they gave us a very good price last year for it. So basically, just to this one door on the west, it's almost as much as both those last year, which is kind of mind-boggling to me.
Only last year's price?
So we went to entry doors, which is Essex County Locksmith, same company did it last year. So they quoted this door alone $7,400. I have a feeling they just know what the grant is, so they're just kind of like, let's stretch it.
The buzzing option?
That would not allow us.
That's just for an access fob, right? That's no buzz. Yeah, that's.
It is
quite-
very. I found it like, come on. So, anyways,
What
we
is
went-
it for a camera and a buzz?
You can get a Ring camera for a couple.
Yeah, no
so
kidding.
so when I ended up Dushko from Grace Baptist Church, he works for Netmon. Netmon is our internet security and everything. So they work with Empire Communications, and I asked Dushko to connect me with Chris, owner of Empire, and like we went to Empire. So basically, with Empire, quote comes down to 6,800, but this is to upgrade the front door to camera system. Doesn't give us iPad style yet, but that's only about $300, so it's not a big deal. And to do entire side door, so it's lower price
It
camera.
interfaces with the same system?
Yes.
Unify or whatever.
So Unify. So that's where we are, about 6,800. Now, this does not include handicapped door. And in my opinion, if we are doing it, even if it costs us out of our pocket, I would say we should do that. Because we have all those handicapped parking spots there. We encourage handicapped to park there, yet we are not providing handicap access to them.
Yeah, we should.
Well,
Yeah.
if I may, I believe the people that installed the system took a shortcut on the outreach center, because we did have handicap. The minute we put it on there, because I was there when they were doing the wiring, and we can grab this, we can do that. Then I find out, obviously, that the handicap part isn't working when it should be. All you can use the handicap for is when you swipe, hit that, it'll open the door. That's wrong.
Now,
And-
does the handicap work if the door is unlocked?
Yes, not, it works if it's
Electronically.
electronically. You can't manually unlock it. But
No,
Dirk
no, but
explained
if it's,
to me.
if it's on one of the unlocked times where the
Correct,
door
then
is
it
screen
works
open, then
fine.
they.
Then it works
It's fine.
Okay.
So explanation I received from them is if you press the button to open the handicap, the motor starts opening it. And if you have it locked at the same time, now your motor is opening it and you can burn the motor.
So you're satisfied with that right now?
We don't need the handicap button to work if the door is
Well,
locked.
but-
Like, yeah,
Right.
even on the old system before they
think they-
got here, if the door was locked, the handicap button doesn't work.
It does,
Yeah.
it works.
At
at
least
this
It
point.
works just fine
It
if
didn't
you.
used to, so they might have corrected that. We
If-
complained about it, property committee. Oh, my goodness, almost as soon as it was done, so maybe it got corrected somewhere.
The biggest thing is understanding how it works.
Yes, okay, yeah.
I explained
we
to
talked about it.
Barb and I think it,
And Chantel and I worked on, tested it. And I said, do not unlock it with the manually locked. I went out and.
Oh, you mean the front door here?
No.
No.
Oh, okay, because that was what was
The
wrong with the
front
front
the
door.
biggest, in my opinion, biggest mistake we are making with
Not using it.
it's they're unlocking with the Allen key, and that's not the proper way to, I understand it's easier.
Right, they should go
But
into the
that's
app and unlock
exactly, you
it for.
should go to the
4
app,
hours, then it'll
unlock,
just be unlocked.
and then
Then
everything.
the handicap button will work and everybody will be.
So I almost feel like
Yeah.
covering that hole for thing.
Yeah.
Do it correctly,
Do you have
unlock
the
it.
authority to do that though? Because on my app, when I press it, it just unlocks for 15 seconds. and
There is a
that's-
different app.
Not everybody has. it.
Barb has the proper app to give it 30-minute unlock.
Okay, so that might just be. a matter of
And I
training.
can
You
give
just
that
messed
to,
this up.
I think what's happening then too would be Rotary that's in there Thursday mornings. They're probably using the Allen key, I would think,
probably.
Right.
because they don't have an app to.
So just to, so the handicap door was there before?
Oh, yes,
Oh, okay.
yes,
So, okay, then I thought that they installed the handicap,
No.
okay.
You talking about the outreach?
yeah.
Yeah.
That was there from
That was a building code,
Yeah.
okay.
Before we get too far sidetracked, could I leave it with then Ross to get Ed up to speed and Ed to work with Darko?
Absolutely.
And finalize a quote and a system?
Well, quote is here, we
Yep.
just need to
Approve it.
approve it and go ahead with it.
Does somebody want to make a motion to approve the quote pending property approval with new chair?
But are we also
Can I
going
just
to
have-
iPad and
Yeah.
some?
Yes, can I ask a question though?
Please, yeah.
So you're saying you want to move away from having the door unlocked between 9 and 2?
That's something we can talk about it.
Because I find that would be, to me, just a pain to have to be checking and letting people in.
Yep.
For those periods of time, and that's the majority of the time when people are typically at the front, there's somebody there and there's people coming and going that are church
Yeah.
folks.
You would be
So-
able to adjust that schedule. though, on
Right,
your
that's all I'm
end, right?
asking,
Yeah.
because I don't.
And
think
I
we
know
have to-
one time Steve did not like the doors locked during the
Yeah.
daytime.
And to have somebody go check the
I
camera.
think
Yeah.
that's the kind of practical thing the office staff could look at, decide.
That's it,
at
yeah.
what
Yeah,
seasons
yeah.
the door needs to stay unlocked and,
Yeah.
you know, if there's if there's whatever, if something has come up, we say, oh, we'd like to keep the door locked for for this time, we can do that.
Since we asked for a code, might as well upgrade it to a camera system, because
Sure.
it is better, no
Yeah.
doubt
Oh, yeah, of
about it.
course.
So let's upgrade it to camera system. If we add that,
But
iPad
does that
later
include
on.
the iPad, or is the iPad like a separate actual iPad purchase that's going?
it's a separate, and I bet you Dushku
Yes,
can
quite
connect it
sure.
for us.
Sure, we could
without
buy an app and
Empire.
load the app on, right?
The only thing we wanted to extend was a camera in the outreach center facing the equipment door to see if any equipment was going up the door. And that would be about 1,200, 1,300 to add that on probably. The last quote I got. And also for we wanted 2 cameras. Also one for the new storage outside. There's nothing on that
I'm
side of the
afraid
building.
that we won't be able to cover everything in a $7,500.
Well, I think the storage is important too. You know, our sheds. There's nothing on that side. Camera. But what's our priority?
That's up to the board to
Yeah.
decide.
I believe last time the board approved spending up to approximately 10,000-ish, knowing the grant wasn't gonna cover the whole thing, but knowing that it would still be worth it to get a little bit extra work done.
I don't know.
It sounds like we have some decisions to make though, so can I bug you to work with Ed then? And then get, what do we want? We want cameras, we want,
The problem is we have to get everything done by August.
done by August, not
Done
just.
by August
not
to
just-
get the grant
okay.
money. So that's why I'm here pushing this. Let's get this
Ross,
rolling.
you wanna
Let's
make a-
get
I
installed.
want to make a motion
I'll take a
to,
motion, let's move on it.
sorry, to move on what specifically?
That
To
quote,
take advantage of the,
Is it about what the quote is?
so quote is to upgrade the west entrance door
Bob entry.
Sorry,
to fob entry
keyless.
to
who was the
match
contractor in
the
question?
rest of it. So we would hire Empire Communications. Sorry.
Okay, west entrance, Bob, what,
Upgrade the west entrance door
okay,
to unify fob entry system.
Just a quick comment, there are people going in there, like the hospitality committee is in there, and the way they get in there is using my key to get in the side door usually. So any upgrades to that, you need to let people know, because people are in there during the day. The hospitality comes in maybe 3 or 4 times a week to prepare for stuff. And that's Pam's group. So I mean, somebody's,
So coming through this door?
I give them
He
my
has a
key.
key,
Yeah, yeah.
otherwise the key doesn't work there.
I emailed those ladies, invite to install on the phone. Some of them did, some of them didn't.
Or get.
I can get the fobs
Yeah,
programmed.
I just think because they're in there, like they were in there last week for the funeral, they were in for Age Unlimited, they're in there.
Pam has a tab. She does.
Does
have a
she?
tab.
Yeah, okay, but sometimes she's not there, so I.
Just to find out, are we, should we get a quote to upgrade it to a handicapped access, the west entrance door
But
here?
it's not a handicap access at all right now. No
No,
handicap.
it's not right now, and it wouldn't be in a $6,800 quote.
Would it
Yeah.
qualify though for the grant?
That might be a disability grant.
That's what I'm saying. I don't,
Yeah,
because
but not
you have to show them that you're spending it on security, so I would just, I would authorize this.
Yeah.
I would authorize this and throwing like the laptop actually makes more sense to me if you're trying to get up to the 70, whatever. Throwing the laptop.
Well, let's do the cameras if we wanna upgrade.
Yeah,
to
that-
70.
To
maximize- to
Maximize the
That's what I'm
grant, let's
saying.
do the cameras and
Yeah.
we'll do laptop and we'll do the handicapped on
Later.
So the motion is to hire Empire Communications
to upgrade the west.
to proceed with the work in the provided quote to upgrade the west door entrance to an automatic operator and install 1 camera or 2 cameras.
Well, if you're going that route, it was Unique that did all the installs for cameras. I don't know if we want to use Unique because they have the camera systems in it. They know where the wiring is, or whether,
Yeah, I would use them to install because they install everything.
yeah, so I mean, they know their.
So this is one, but we're approving one quote.
So you want, well, what,
They both do
are
the
you
same thing.
motioning for one camera or 2 cameras?
But it's a different thing. It's not
Yeah.
under the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah, exactly.
So that should be a
I think
separate.
it should be a separate
Up
motion.
the,
Okay.
the 10,000.
Yeah, let's get the big
this.
one going,
Okay, great.
if we can. And,
Because we can submit 2 receipts for the.
Yeah, correct.
yes,
We
yeah.
get 2 separate bills,
Yeah.
one from Unique, one
Yeah.
from
But from a board level.
Empire, and they grant the 7,500.
And we have the money. No issues with the finance above and beyond.
You're gonna have to pull out, yeah, it's gonna have to come out of, I mean, if this is aligned with the grant, it's in our savings account.
Nobody actually.
Sorry, Cheryl, can you read back the motion we have? So
I don't know. 'cause
I've heard like
Yeah.
3 different.
Yeah.
Okay, a motion to accept the quote for the upgrade of the west entrance door to unify the fob entry system.
And the front entrance.
So this grant money.
sorry, is that Empire?
And
That's
the
both
front
entrances?
Yep.
Okay.
The grant money.
West,
Why is the west entrance door
west entrance door and front main entrance door.
and
But
This
does
is the north door?
Not have to be.
west, or north.
Wouldn't the back door also have to be updated then?
No, what I'm saying, the grant
Under the
money.
same-
I didn't- You receive it?
No, not yet.
So we have to apply it.
We've applied for it, we're approved, but we have to turn the
They're
receipts.
gonna be two separate.
So-
accounts.
Same,
Okay, I
Same.
thought we got the
Same
money
every-
first.
They
then we
can
have-
have-
same
No.
fobs
I
for,
think we had to-
Gotta be.
at that point,
And
every
I'm
door.
agree.
is in the money.
I guess.
I
Yeah,
think we got it after.
and who's making that motion?
Ross made the motion. Who would like to second it? Aaron,
Aaron.
all in, any more discussion?
Do we need to just say where it's coming from?
so it's all going to be within the threshold of this grant, 7,400.
This motion will all be in the threshold of the $7,500.
Grant money.
Area of hate
The motion
crime
to be tied to
prevention.
where we get the money from.
What was the total? 74, 75?
It needs
the capital.
Yeah, oh, I
It's a
thought-
capital expense. So when we get the
Quote
grant money,
was
we gotta replenish the
68.
savings.
Yeah.
account.
No, I meant.
I think it's 7,500. I cannot, yeah, it is, there it
Okay.
is,
Well,
7,500.
I'll go through it.
That includes GST and
Yep.
everything.
Or Thursday.
Oh, I'm sure it does, yes. We have,
So you gotta
You
consider,
should get a rebate most of the.
yeah, you
GST.
get a GST back anyway.
you get the
okay,
that should
GST,
be
not
back.
the PST. but-
Shortly.
We need to put notes about financing into the motion.
I put, this will be within the threshold of.
7,500 for,
To be received later.
and then you want to hold on the other one with the 2 cameras, or
Well,
I think we
hold on,
should.
Let's vote on this motion first. All in favor? Any opposed? Any confused?
As
Okay,
long as everything
So,
stays, like
yes.
all of
This-
them are linked and
Yeah.
there's no two different types of systems.
this motion is
None of
carried.
them.
Ross, do you want to make a motion to have a 1 or 2 additional cameras also installed?
I'm not sure if we want to wait for the new, I don't know what kind of budgets we're looking
Yeah,
at
like
for next year.
I'm leaving, but I would wait because we talked
Yeah.
about planning, right? Like
Gotcha.
plan deliberately.
Something they can
deliberate
look at.
Planning of capital.
There was something else he talked about too, that I said that would be something you need to budget in your.
Yeah, so I think it's
So
good
there's
that
some
we
other
leave that for,
And I believe the security grant did not cover iPads and computers, right? There was.
Oh, no, we're
was
trying
there a
to put-
caveat that they don't cover that.
It's cameras and
Yeah.
video.
So is there any more spending that's proposed that would use up the rest of this grant?
So you're saying to try to maximize, you know,
Yeah, like if we could pay for half of a camera with the grant, do we pay for
Okay.
half a
More
camera out of
fobs.
pocket? Yeah.
Aren't they expensive, the little keys?
yeah, maybe more fog.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Because there's not many.
I
Yeah,
always.
because they're not cheap. You're gonna burn through them at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, keychain fob
Yeah.
would, I would definitely,
once,
yeah, no, those are, we are not buying a single one.
but that's.
Should we amend the motion to have to maximize that?
You could do that or add a second motion if you want.
I think they always find something
Yeah.
to add. It's
Yeah.
the estimate, but you know how it is.
So I would ask if they could.
Oh, yeah,
they could spend
we'll
some of
order,
that
we'll order,
for the
we
video.
need
So-
strictly key fob,
Yeah.
I mean, a
Yeah.
keychain
Yeah, yeah.
fobs for this door.
So they ain't doing that grant too.
There's a lot of
That's
keys
the-
still out there, is there not?
Also.
A lot of actual keys
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Do we not try to get those back?
We should put out a communication.
should.
with the home-
Because we're
Yeah.
getting
Yes,
people unlocking.
People are gonna be trying to, yeah, oh, yeah.
and then we'll just give them physical fobs.
Correct,
Yeah,
or-
I get
yeah.
the fuck. They can give us $1,000 worth of fobs. I don't know what that gets. us, but- So I guess I'll move that the remaining balance of the grant be allocated for fobs. Physical fobs.
Anybody want to second Aaron's motion? Russ, all in favor? Any opposed?
Would you like me to
Right.
get the separate code for them to give us a quote on upgrading to handicap, just to see how much would we have to pay out of our pocket to make that handicap?
Let's get this going without any more delays. If I can make a suggestion, especially if we need to have the money, spent and work done
Yeah.
by August. I didn't realize that was the case. I thought we had to just
And
send
that
them,
could still go into
send them a
prop.
quote or
I'm
something.
not sure if that push thing they have to install,
Yeah.
if it's any different, if it's on a handicap door or not handicap door. So I don't want to purchase, it's a $2,000 that you.
Oh, yeah.
You do have to have that electric lock,
So
the mechanism.
I'll ask them, is this what we are buying or paying for? Is this compatible with one day if we want to upgrade it to handicap door?
But the accessibility, like, that's not cheap, because you got the whole thing above the door that opens the
Yeah.
door and then the button, the
It's not,
mechanism.
it's not
like,
just on unlock, yeah. I would recommend we wait on that at this time. Let's just get the security
Okay.
stuff
Yeah.
done and over
Sure.
with. And if property feels that we need a third handicap access door later, we can look
Yeah.
at that later. We
Okay.
have 2 at each end of the building
Yes.
that are covering the main entrances. That's really just a utility entrance.
Even though we tell all our, just no park people park over there. but-
Well, but the second door doesn't have an operator. So then what do we do? We put it, it's a vestibule. So then we put an operator on the second door,
Yeah.
like it could snowball pretty
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
There's no point in trapping someone in a vestibule. They can get in,
Yeah,
they can't get out.
yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, where are we?
Any more comments from last month's meeting?
I just wanted to add
Yeah,
one thing.
please.
It's new, but the September kickoff barbecue.
Yeah,
And if you want me to wait till the June barbecue follow up.
sure. Let's do that. Let's take you back out on the
Barbecue
June
time.
part of the ball. It would
Okay.
be barbecue time. Yeah. I want to very quick, and I don't want to discuss this tonight, but I want to bring it up to simmer in the back burners of your mind for a month or two. Is we will still need to find this, so we are on to number 6 now. We will need to put together, I think, a little bit of a plan for organizing rental requests of the addition and in the existing church building for that matter. We've been getting by right now, and probably Ross, we thank you for answering the phone and jumping to it on property, and Barb has been fielding the requests in the office, and we appreciate that too, but it feels to me like we're getting to the point where that needs to be some kind of designated role. I don't know, I'm just as I'm spitballing, I don't know it needs to be a paid role at this point, but I'm kind of picturing some kind of volunteer committee, and it's a discussion in and amongst itself, and discussion I wasn't having on planning on having tonight, but I think it's a discussion we need to have at some point. So as you're going about and driving your car with a little bit extra mental capacity, maybe think about what a good solution to this would be, and we're going to put it on one of the other agendas. That I think we need to get something a little more permanent, fixed in place, and structured in place.
And documented.
Yeah.
A little bit better.
That being said, on that vein, there was some casual discussion that came up the other day with Pastor Steve, and he had mentioned that we had decided as a board that we were not going to allow birthday parties to happen in the addition. I didn't recall that specifically. I recall that it wasn't just going to be open for regular, hey, open for you as a birthday party. And I recall that we weren't going to allow the gym equipment to be used, the nets and hockey sticks and whatnot. But that if somebody wanted to rent it for an event, they could rent it for an event. What is everybody else's recollection?
Sure, we
Yeah.
put the.
What's the recollection of that?
I recall the issue being more so the potential liabilities associated with,
Other
Yeah.
people's kids.
raucous behavior and other people's kids and all
Yeah.
these different,
Yeah.
just because it's not just potentially being heard, but the potential accusations that could come out of
Yeah.
what happened in the bathroom, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Which would be covered by insurance,
Yes.
but yeah, wait, event insurance that we would make
Yes.
somebody get, yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a consensus among the board that it
Yeah.
sounds like we wanted to limit for kids' birthdays. What if somebody wanted to have an adult birthday?
I would probably throw them in the same category as like a wedding shower or whatever, because those
Yeah.
are usually a little bit more formal, you're celebrating a milestone or
Exactly, yeah.
whatever, like. And like, I don't know how do you say like it's limited to milestone birthdays, like, I don't know.
You're still paying the cost.
Yeah.
They'll still get.
Right,
paid.
yeah, exactly. They'll
still
still
get
be
the
renting,
insurance.
paying rental fees and still getting event insurance, and that's what I would think at. It's no different than having a bridal shower
Yeah.
or a wedding shower or baby shower or
Yeah.
something like that, yeah.
But could you word it differently than it would, because if I'm understanding what you're saying, adult birthdays or socials would be
No
acceptable,
kids' birthday
but
parties.
how would you cut off that birthday stage to say, or do you limit it to church family, kids, like, you've got to be so careful.
I don't
It's
think
an
we-
outreach
I
center
don't
that
think we
we,
put it in an actual like policy or
No,
rule
we
anywhere.
just-
It was just
and
something
don't
we
need to.
discussed,
It's
yeah.
just something that we're
Oh, I
either
think-
for or against,
Yeah.
right? So.
well, are you gonna do it every time somebody applies for a party then? Bring it
Well,
to
and
the-
that's kind of what snowballs this, this
You would have a-
prod to put it on the back burner of how are we gonna handle these things moving forward? Because
Yeah.
it's ad hoc right now, and we have great people in place and we're getting by, but it should be formalized.
I mean, so many kids going up to the front and you think, man, if we start cutting off any birthdays that parents might want to have here with their kids, I'm having an issue with some of it. The wording of it would have to be,
It's a
sensitive
kind of a
enough to-
perk, to go to your church and be able to.
have a kid's
Yeah.
birthday.
You know,
birthday party.
Like if they're bringing their own hockey nets, sticks, basketballs, whatever, and can we get a bunch of school kids familiar with the church?
See
I
a
mean-
waiver?
They're destroying a Sunday morning game.
Can't you just
Yeah,
have a
I just-
waiver, them sign a waiver? Isn't it that easy?
I guess you would more.
Could
I
ask
don't want to
insurance.
speak for Pastor Steve, but if I remember from the conversation, it was more of like, we can't do birthday parties now. Because we were getting so many
Yes,
calls
I
for
see.
rentals. Barb was new in the
Yeah.
role. And it was like, okay, we don't even have the lines in, we don't have any documents, we have no pay scale.
Mhm.
We haven't talked it through with our insurance yet. So it was kind of like, we need to just like say no to just about
Oh.
everything unless it's absolutely crystal clear how we're gonna do it. No, I'm not speaking for Pastor Steve. I think he would want to speak to that. I'm just saying, I don't think it was a no birthdays forever. It was
Yeah,
probably like
okay.
until we get
Yeah.
infrastructure in place where we can intake people, charge them the right fees. accommodate
Yeah.
supervision and whatever.
But,
Yeah.
but it is also in the context of it's potentially a higher liability event than,
Mhm.
grandma's
Mhm.
70th.
But your
birthday
brother-
celebration, You know what I mean?
Sure.
But
You-
that'll be insurance issue,
Yeah,
let
yeah.
them
So-
try insurance.
So this, and these are the details we can lock in later. These are the weeds I didn't want to get lost in tonight. In the meantime, should a request come up for a reasonable milestone birthday of a mature adult, do you think I could
Gotta write that out.
potentially entertain it?
Yeah.
Specify the age.
If the right thing comes up?
Sure.
I would say.
It sounds like I've got kind of general consensus here that, the right, yeah.
Yeah.
They fill out the application, it's like everything
The
else.
right reasonable unraucous event would be, could be.
Joel
okay.
can be the yes or the no.
Yeah.
40 years or older.
Sounds good.
Hey, I know some rockers 40-year-old.
But yeah, I think it does come down to how often was it being used, because we said like, do
Yeah.
the math and figure out every
Yeah.
grandparent who has a child would want to
That's
use
true.
it, and.
Happy birthdays
It was
every
just the
Friday and
math of
Saturday and
It would be
Sunday.
booked every Saturday, which we weren't certainly
No, we
ready
couldn't-
for
we couldn't.
then, and I don't know if we're even ready for
I
now.
still don't think we're ready for it.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
think it's a
But-
bit of a
yeah.
game.
But I like what your brother told me when
Yeah.
he rented Maranatha.
Yeah.
And he said, man, it's so simple. You just signed
Yeah.
and they apply their own insurance
Hmm,
right
yeah.
to that document. No questions
Yeah,
asked.
yeah.
And it was pretty
I
simple.
did talk
I think
to
it's like
him,
12 bucks for the insurance.
I did talk to him just to get clarification, so it's Maranatha that sets the rules and what the amounts are and all the
Yes.
rules are with
Oh,
this insurance organization. So you go on their website, you choose Banwell Community Church as an event. System knows our requirements, spits out the price,
Yep.
boom, done.
Nice.
It's
Yeah, it's-
easy, it's
Asking
cheap.
for insurance stuff every time is.
So we asked them, you have to go on this website, you have to purchase.
Our insurance.
You just choose our location.
Yeah.
You buy insurance, give us a certificate.
These,
and you're
yeah,
done.
and these are the kind of systems it will be nice if we had one pointed person or one pointed committee, a handful of people to start putting in place and administering. So if I don't want to get into the weeds on it tonight, but thank you for your comments. I will take them forthwith. Sorry, Mark.
No, I just think there's other, like,
Yeah.
I agree, but there's things like, how does the kitchen work? I mean, we say we charge, but
Yeah.
how does that all work?
Yeah.
How does the audio work?
We still have a lot of.
It's still not working well,
Yes,
and,
Well-
we can say we've got prices and stuff, but
but we've
In the
been
midst of
open
it.
long enough now that we need to
Yeah.
get ourselves ready.
We have to be-
We're not ready, but we should put some systems in place to get ready.
A year later, we should be in a better. place.
systems and
Yeah,
people.
Systems and people, yeah.
For me,
I
just a
presume
comment.
you've
Yeah.
all got plans to attend the Outreach Center's watch party for a Canada Switzerland game tomorrow at 2:00, right?
I,
Big screen.
no,
What I
That
would,
could be a good community.
what I would
outreach event.
suggest, what I would suggest, and I'm
Yeah,
outgoing,
please, yeah.
but what I would suggest is that maybe you break it down into
Okay, final guy.
or 3 people or so.
Yeah.
To come up with the whole process, because I think with like 8 or 9 people,
It's just
nobody, it's gonna be
We're
too
never
much
gonna
discussion,
all
if nothing
It
will
needs
get.
to be a small.
Right.
It's a small group that
Yeah.
meets and kind of goes through the whole process, comes back with a recommendation. That's just
Yeah.
my
Absolutely,
thing, right?
no, I think that's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
And then they just come back to the board.
I think just a comment from
Yeah.
me. It says Community Outreach Center, not Banwell Church Outreach Center. So I think we need to be more in the community down the road. I mean, that's what it is there.
Mhm.
It's, and
We
I
had- yeah.
think we need to,
We had said though, like, first we have to figure out our needs,
yeah,
and
exactly.
I think we're almost there.
Yeah.
But once we've established that, then the balance for sure.
Just-
Yeah.
You're right, that was the intent, is to,
Yeah,
not just for us, but for,
for the community and then.
but
It's just
start
been
with
a-
at least make sure our needs are.
Been a difficult road to get there.
And
We'll get-
you mentioned that in fall, you would like to kind of work a little bit on getting more volunteers, so this is another thing we can make a
Absolutely.
huge push in kind of recruiting this mini army of community outreach center.
Mhm.
Of
Absolutely.
You have 20 people just for that.
We'll put it on our list. Okay, barbecue time. Oh, no, I'm sorry. One more. I tricked you. CBOQ follow-up. Briefly, is there anything noteworthy we need to know about the CBOQ assembly? You wrote, the article was written for the News and Views, and there wasn't nothing crazy to be anticipated, but anything noteworthy?
So you guys probably didn't hear this, but I didn't go myself.
Yeah.
Pastor Steve went because Naomi got really sick on the
Oh,
Tuesday, so I was out. I'll spare the details. Tuesday I had to go home early. Naomi was sick and I took care of her for the next couple of days, so Unfortunately, I did not go this year and I cannot give you the updates. But Pastor Steve has written about it in News and Views, so that's probably, you'd know just as much as I do.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Now it's barbecue time. I'm sorry I wasn't able to be there at the barbecue, but how did it go?
Great,
I think it
actually.
went well.
Yeah,
Good.
it went really well.
It was full.
Good, good.
It was a full gym.
Yeah.
Did people stay in the gym? Did they migrate
It was
outside?
Raining.
It was raining. So-
Yeah.
Okay.
We did.
We left early.
It worked.
Yeah.
Okay, so the gym worked well?
But it's nice, like, again, in the past, rain, I wish there was a wrench.
Oh, I know.
Nice just being there.
It rained
Say,
really
you know
nice
what,
to have
yeah.
that.
It rained a ton, right? Cause I was at the train station when it came down.
The only downside is that like we can't like have bouncy castles in the gymnasium while, you know, that
I mean,
we've got
we've done it.
tables. I know we've done it, but I'm saying it's a bit of a challenge. It would be
Yeah.
easier, like if the weather was nice, we could send the kids outside. I would say, that's the only downside, I think.
Heather did stuff upstairs. so-
Yeah.
That's very true.
The message.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you, everybody who stepped up and volunteered and made that happen. We appreciate it.
Burgers are really good.
So good.
Yeah, Kim doesn't skip on the,
No.
on the quality.
And his
Because
beef
Amy-
on my cousin.
It's like the brioche buns and.
All right.
We didn't do enough hot dogs, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm still going to start boiling them and they
Did
can.
we have a
This year
veggie?
it flipped. It was extra.
We have a
burgers
veggie.
on the hot dogs. I was like, what?
Yeah, well, they were gonna start to boil them in the
They-
kitchen, but they said, no, we can just do that.
Yeah, the numbers.
Okay,
Um,
next barbecue then.
Yeah, so I met, we had our meeting, the committee, and we were talking about the September barbecue and saying how quick it is. And so close to the June one wrapping up, so, and then we were discussing the pig roast event, and that's very
Mhm.
close to the kickoff one, which we find is more, more social, because it's Saturday, it's not like Sunday, people have to run off after church. And then there's activities outside, and we just think that would be better to focus on the pig roast
Okay.
and not have the September kickoff. Plus, I know Kim's not gonna be there. He said I'm out.
Oh.
And then, yeah,
Yeah.
so
I mean, that makes
Uh,
sense. We haven't, it's not like the pig roast is something we've done for, 20 years.
Right, it was
It's a
the
recent
first
event.
year.
It is very close to our kickoff barbecue.
yeah,
This
It's.
it's
yeah.
October 4th.
Sunday works well with people that are in church.
Yeah.
that may
Yeah.
not come to Saturday.
Yes.
There's people that I saw come through the line, which I was pleased to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Newer people that just been starting to come, where they may not put that effort out on a Saturday,
Yeah.
but that's just thought. Yeah.
Some guests, Sarah and her husband came, but Sarah for.
Yeah, he's around the library.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of guests that came, you can see that they came just.
Well, we had the baptism.
That's
Baptism,
true.
and the baptism.
That lined up
Yeah,
well
yeah,
with
yeah.
that. Yeah, that worked.
I don't think we're complaining about like, oh, just so much on one Sunday, but I think it's nice that then people like come from, like,
Yeah.
the sections, like Elizabeth was baptized, she brought her parents and they.
Yeah, if
together.
it was fun with the baptism.
Yeah.
There was a lady that came in a few weeks ago that was looking for a job.
Oh.
And Pastor Steve talked to her and gave her went through benevolent. She started coming to church.
Oh,
She was
okay.
there at the
Oh, very
barbecue.
nice.
Said, do you remember me? And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, Arabic lady. And she's registered now, kids for VBS. So I don't know. I agree. It's a lot on a Sunday, but I think you need people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Versus the ones that will come on Saturday. But of course, my committee's
Yeah.
not doing it, so.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to make the decision and make it final, so I'm willing to.
No,
you
I
know,
mean, you
bring
made
it-
some very excellent points, but,
Yeah,
Did we
Yeah.
do the pig roast on Sunday? Instead of,
no, I think it takes, I think
I don't think so.
sleep. I
Takes
heard
a
the
lot.
guys don't sleep and it's
Yeah.
on their schedule and they donate the pig too,
Yeah.
the home.
Yeah.
Yeah, brothers, so it's on their schedule, like.
Yeah.
I don't
and we
think it's
charge
something.
for that event, right?
for
The
the,
pig
It's
roast?
just donations
Yeah.
to them. It's a men's ministry
Yeah, yeah.
event, so it's not really even like us running it technically.
I
It's
thought it was
just-
great the last time. I had a great
Yeah,
time.
yeah, the activities at the time.
But I could see that the problem of having it so close and, just one more thing we gotta organize and make sure you have bodies for and.
I mean, it's not that we even organize it, we just might have activities
Mhm.
for children, but,
Could-
Yeah, it's
could
more
we scale
just
it back
better-
somehow? Like, could we do less? Like,
What are
could
the
we
two
not-
dates? What are the
Like
two
the-
dates?
Kickoff barbecue would probably be after Labor Day,
It's
which is
September
like
13th, I think.
Usually
the 13th, and then October 4th is the pig roast.
It's like 3 weeks apart.
But it's a Saturday and then.
And
yeah,
then
it's
men
different.
have their own barbecue. When is that? Men's ministry barbecue.
It's just-
There's so much, so many of them.
I feel like that's what we talked about in our meeting was there's like a barbecue fatigue because it's like every 6 weeks or less, there's something, or every 3 weeks, actually.
Yeah.
So we felt like it would be wise to just ask questions like, why are we doing what we're doing? We added the pig roast. So we should maybe say, is there something that should be modified or revised? So I think that's where this came out of.
But could we just do like a family thing after the fact? Like, I know it's kickoff Sunday, but it's usually geared towards families anyways, right? With
Doesn't
Jessica.
have to be a
The
Yeah,
kickoff
barbecue.
That's what I'm saying,
Can
does
we
it have to
just
be
throw on
barbecue?
some snacks and coffee in
Exactly.
the outreach center and say there's tables out, come on, hang out?
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't need
Does it
to
have
be
to
a
be a
barbecue.
full on like barbecue with burgers
Well,
and
that's
hot
the
dogs? Yeah.
thing, we're losing like the team that does it, like Kim's like, I'm out, and like, you're just getting the fatigue of the workers, like,
maybe
and I'm not gonna make
look-
it. So that's partly where it's coming from, it's like, they're,
Muffins,
How-
gambits.
yeah,
Ice cream for the
so,
kids, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ice cream.
The ice cream's the
Uh,
easier, you just hand it out, right?
yeah.
The prep of the other stuff.
and
Yep.
then
Yeah.
if we wanna do that, like volunteer fair, things like that,
Yeah.
yeah, like, that was the other thing, right, it would go with
Let's
that.
use this fall kickoff more
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
recruiting volunteers
which
and
it should
showing
be.
people what
Here's
our
our
needs
program.
are.
Here's what we have
Okay.
this
Yeah,
year,
that's
the
a good idea.
program.
Let's kind of not, skip the food part,
Yeah.
let's make it some snacks and what,
Yeah.
but like maybe organizing in a gym where everybody, their
Mhm.
table
Right.
set up and like, these are the needs, this is where you
But
can plug in.
I'm thinking like even like move it out for the child, like have jumping castles and someone responsible for watching the kids while the parents
Mhm.
ask them
Right,
and
right.
potentially volunteering and
Yeah.
stuff like that, you know.
It kind of works.
I mean, typically we haven't really had the jumping castles for years, so like we just have these mini ones for toddlers, but. Oh, okay. I'm just saying,
Yeah, like
Oh.
our first family
Oh,
one is
okay,
here, it's a
okay.
big one.
I just mean it's not like really big, but.
Was that
Okay.
the obstacle course one?
Yeah, the one has.
Okay.
Big ones?
Oh.
That was fine.
Sorry, I'm just trying to
Okay.
track with you here. Volunteer fair, is that already a decision or a decided thing, a done deal? And if so, when is that?
No, we've talked about it. We've never locked in a date for
Because
it, but if,
requires the areas of service.
Right,
yeah.
So that's what you're talking, maybe to tie it up to a fall kickoff, so we can kind of explain to people what the needs are for the fall and winter.
Sounds like we've got some decent consensus around that.
Mhm.
And how does everybody feel about just doing a non-barbecue barbecue?
Yeah, snack.
So we do a social event that's not a picnic, called a social, yeah,
Coffee, cookies.
yeah, coffee and
Yeah.
cookies, there we go.
The September social.
Yeah.
Alliteration.
yeah,
And should we do a volunteer fair the same day?
I think so.
I would focus on that.
Who is gonna organize the volunteer fair part?
You are, Jay.
It sounds like.
Chair of the
sounds like-
committee or the director.
Sounds like the intern.
Intern Scott.
There we go. Actually, it's not a
they,
bad
they have
idea.
the summer, they can make
That's not a bad
displays
idea.
and
That is a good job for interns, yeah.
there's 3 of them.
That's not a
One
bad
thing,
idea.
one thing we talked about because everybody said it was HR's deal.
Yeah.
Some ideas of how to drum up more volunteers.
Yeah.
Somebody said building, the average, or, announcements and everything. Well, I'm the late person, so I didn't see half of them. I wondered if the volunteer or the students could do a video.
Yeah.
That could do that kind of thing, and then possibly part of that as well.
Yeah.
But HR's looking at it, so we could kind of take that on. If that helps.
Great. And you're kind of here anyways, and you got access to
Right now.
students, then perfect, yeah.
We need a motion for this, or do you think we can just
Pick a date.
forge on ahead?
Would be good.
Yep.
Just because if you want
Well,
us to be in charge of picking snacks and.
Do we need a motion to like discontinue the?
I don't know, though.
But I would
We're
still
setting
do
a
it for 1
precedent.
year.
This
We'll
is-
revisit
We're doing
it.
this year, and if the men don't do a pig roast next year, then
Yeah.
we go
Yeah.
back to a barbecue.
Okay.
Mhm.
If it gives you any flack, you send them my way.
September. I guess, what are we looking at? The week after Labor Day? Probably.
We did it in mid-September.
Yeah, September
13th.
13th is
That
the
makes
kickoff
sense.
Sunday.
This is
13th.
second.
Okay, that's the second.
That makes sense, yeah.
So be
Just to
prepared,
plan for
news and
it.
views will be around that time too. Jim's already planning.
Well, postpone it a week and then we can put the results of the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So are we
Sorry,
doing a
that's
motion?
September 13th.
I feel like we should.
It could just be.
And then, okay, all right,
I-
cool.
Do you wanna call it anything specific volunteer fair, or do you wanna?
The September
Yeah.
social and volunteer fair.
Yeah, there you
Fair,
go.
sounds
September
good.
social and volunteer fair.
Yeah,
That's on my calendar anyways.
I think you also want to pair that with the kickoff, right? Like it is the kickoff.
Yeah, it's still the
Yeah.
kickoff, that's true, technically.
just not calling
It's
it.
just,
Being kickoff.
yeah,
Let's
Just
just concern about the
gonna-
branding.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Come up with catches.
We should use that Sunday to emphasize what we offer.
That's what
Like,
I'm thinking,
that's-
displays
to
of
me,
like
what-
the kids, Kingdom Kids
Yeah,
program.
it's a
like
kickoff, so
small
we are kicking
groups,
off that
right.
season,
Not just
right?
here,
And like
help us,
Sunday,
like, yeah,
kickoff classes,
That's what I
but we didn't say a single thing what we.
right,
we're
that's what I
doing.
think is,
I'm thinking, what was the kickoff of? Like,
right,
Kickoff, what do we
make
kick off?
sure they know
Where are
what's
we kicking
available.
off? Like, it's a new
Homeschool-
season,
yeah,
right?
Ministry kickoff.
I agree. It's
These
never
are
been
the
highlighted.
ministries throughout the year.
Yeah.
We do this in fall. We do
Yeah.
there is alpha
Some highlight
every day
pictures.
off, and
Yeah.
there are ladies 2 times
Yeah.
a year. There's
Yeah.
men's every,
Yeah,
each one should have a couple
Some-
minutes of this is what this ministry does.
yeah.
These are some great ideas, guys. Thank
And
you.
this is what the students
interns
could
take, like pictures.
create the whole
Yeah,
picture of our annual ministries.
or like trifolds or something, displays.
And a video too, possibly.
Keep them busy. Yeah.
We got
Okay.
work to do.
Any-
Okay.
Any more discussion on the matter? Is everybody on board with this plan?
So we're not motioning,
No motion?
Okay.
Consensus?
gonna happen.
Okay. Thank you all. I think that's a great idea.
So can I just interrupt and ask, does that mean the third intern was hired?
Yes,
Oh, good.
we've got him. Ethan Finney is his name.
No escape now.
I have the accounts already for them.
Oh, thank you, Darko.
And
Perfect.
then would your group do this, the social part of it?
I think we would do the
Okay.
watching the kids, getting the food, work with hospitality, I guess. It's not-
Just a question.
He laughs when the word hospitality is mentioned.
Oh, anyway.
Hey, they're
Okay.
under me. Don't-
Yeah,
I told
that's
them we're boss now.
Or we'll
Good luck on that
coordinate.
one.
Any more discussion on the barbecue matter? The barbecue, not barbecue matter.
But for your committee,
I'm
yeah, like
barbecue.
let's almost
Yeah, I'm
plan
barbecue.
half a gym for kids
Yeah,
and half a gym for
outside.
That'll be fun.
All right. Pastor James, he's in a new laptop. Talk to us, James.
All right, so basically, when I received my laptop when I started here, it was already faulty from the moment I got it. The Wi-Fi adapter randomly cuts out and I have to manually reboot it. But I was also just like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I'll just turn it back on every time it turns off. But now a year in, I'm like, okay, I need to have a better laptop. The HDMI port also stopped working, so I can mirrorcast to our projectors, but I would like to be able to hard plug it in. And we have 2 spare laptops and we have 3 summer student workers coming in. So it would be awfully convenient if I could just upgrade my laptop and then hand over my faulty version to the next incoming summer student.
Fine to me.
Darko suggested 2 models, a $700 Asus and an $800 Dell. The Dell has more capacity and it has a touchscreen, but the Asus has more battery life. Now, none of those issues are relevant for me because I always work with my laptop plugged in. I don't save very much on the hard drive and I don't use a touchscreen. So the question for you would be, do you want me to buy the $700 one with a better battery life or the $800 one with a touchscreen and more storage, which might be better for a
Yeah.
future artsy person if I ever pass it on to somebody else?
Are either of those laptops enough horsepower
Yeah, I
for
was
you?
gonna
Like
say.
that,
Yeah.
to be honest, that wouldn't get me a laptop that would work for me.
For me,
Yeah.
it seemed a little kind of low
It
price.
seems low to me if you
They're
know.
basically i5.
Yeah. I'd rather buy something nice once
Like
than
a
something cheap
no.
3 times.
I would be content with either option. So I'm bringing it to you as a, first of all, Pastor Steve recommended, just based on the ticket price, I should get your approval for it. Second of all, if you would prefer me to buy one as an investment in the church, because whatever laptop I use, I may not use forever or whatever the case might be. But I expect either one to meet my needs very well.
And I would like to make a
Yeah,
comment.
please.
I asked him before he started, what can we get you? So,
And I think I asked him too. so
Yeah.
This is all your fault.
You guys have been very supportive of
Yeah.
my needs. I will set that, we're on record here. We're getting recorded. The board has supported Pastor
I'm
James.
just giving you. a
I'm
hard
just very
time.
conservative with spending. So for me, I look at the price tag, I'm like, the $700 one works. I'm happy to do that. But this is a conversation for all of us to have.
Do you see yourself actually like, using the touchscreen?
Not really.
Yeah.
I use
Same, but-
PowerPoints
yeah.
for some of my talks with the youth group, but I don't really need to fiddle with it with a touch screen.
I mean, I've got a Dell, but
How much more storage is it, the 800? Like,
I perfectly honest with you,
Both 520.
Yeah, the one
storage is the
500.
same then, or?
I think the
Yeah,
Dell has
same,
more,
Same.
but not significantly
Yeah.
more.
No.
There's 16 meg RAM and
easier.
520 storage.
I don't know. I've got a Dell. I've always had Dells, but
Yeah.
It's very
Asus,
comparable
I
to
can't-
what he has right now. And it
Yeah, I've
is,
got a Lenovo now and I'm
Yeah.
perfectly happy.
and that
with
one
it.
is 520 and probably 8.
Yeah.
in RAM, so you're upgrading RAM.
Yeah,
I would go with the larger capacity battery myself, like just for future. Yeah,
I'm good with that.
battery last a day on them. That's all
Yeah.
new Ultra 5
Oh, is it?
processors, they it's real less problem.
As long as that meets your needs, so I'll
Yeah.
make a motion
Yep.
for that one then.
Should made by Dave. Anyone want a second? Ross, all in favor?
And I volunteer to
Any
wipe
opposed?
them out because the students should never see what Pastor James was working on,
Is
wipe
it-
and clean.
Call it AO something?
Maybe.
ASUS.
What's that?
Yes, yes.
Heather's laptop should be wiped too.
So
I cannot install Office on the laptop for some reason.
Okay, that work? Got one more item to bounce by the board. Hopefully this is gonna be a quick one. If it's not, we're gonna kick to another meeting. Daniela, as head of property, has asked for the board to make a decision. I did print out the email from her. If anybody wants to see it, I did not print out 8 copies. You guys can share.
You said she
Send
brought
one this way,
something,
one that way.
you said she brought something to
Yeah.
property committee?
No, did I say, I'm sorry, if I said that, I misspoke. I'm
He
sorry.
said he said she had a property.
I didn't mean head of property, obviously. I mean decorating.
Maybe.
She has brought this request, the men's ministry has come to her and asked if they could put up some, I believe, some plaques or some certificates they have received from their school program, and they wanted to put them up in the hallway. And she was cautious, and I think rightfully and astutely so, of wanting to open up a precedent of anybody who's got a plaque or a certificate, posting them up in the hallway, and the hallway's looking cluttered.
Homeschooling? Maybe
No,
I've read
no,
this-
No, these are
Breakfast program.
from the schools,
The
from
schools.
the breakfast program.
The men's ministry support.
What
Schools.
They had a formal presentation to the men's group,
Marble games.
one of the schools.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I'm just thinking like, to me, this is kind of like, just like the world map where we want people to be aware of what's going on. I think it's a good thing to have.
Yeah.
It's just, we had a whole debate on where does this
Yeah. Well,
map go.
Where
We're gonna
is
have
it?
the same thing about
gonna
this.
say-
Yeah, so, well, can I shoot you with an idea?
Yeah.
What if it got incorporated into the world map? It's a local mission we're doing.
Well,
Then
yeah,
we
but
wouldn't be setting a precedent of, anytime you get a certificate, throw it up in the hallway, tape it up where you want, we're all good to go, and our hallways look cluttered. But it is displayed, it is promoted.
Yeah.
It could have a pin to Windsor, it'd be one of our local missions, and then people could see this designated area and be like, oh, hey, that's cool. And
Yeah.
then if someone else has a plaque, you say, hey, was it a mission? And if so, great,
Great.
throw it out
They're
there
going the same
and
area.
promote our missions.
okay, this did come to property committee.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Well, sorry, I didn't even know that.
yeah, so it did come to property, what to do with it. So Daniela was not at our meeting, so I approached Danielle. The problem is, if you, because the men's group is not a Banwell entity, it operates with its own budget, it operates with its own.
Yeah.
If we start saying it's one of our mission, then the church is taking it on, not so much the men's. The plaque idea was that, could it be incorporated somewhere, either in the new edition? They wanted it, I believe, at the one wall there where the others are. But then you get somebody else who's gonna come along and say, like if the women want to put something up, or another group, you start this wall of fame.
You can take my photo down.
It becomes a sacred
And so,
cow.
you know, we had that at Temple where the Hall of Fame was all the pastors, you know, and so it is a very delicate thing, but we just want to be careful.
Of course, yeah, no, and I
Saying that
totally understand that concern.
if we put it as part of our
Yeah.
mission, it's not really Banwell mission.
It's
It's
the
the,
ministry is a band.
well, it does run
because they-
as a separate entity. They only answer to themselves,
Well, they, no, because.
both financially and they're in.
So
As a men's.
anybody that would get our annual report would think that we have a men's ministry operating under the umbrella of Bagwell. I mean, they operate fairly autonomously, but they do still operate under our general oversight. And within our mission, our mission statement structure.
But. That's all I'm saying.
Could we put them up here? Like, it doesn't need to be,
There you go. That might be an idea.
stick them in the library, or say we put it up on the wall, but then again, it's the precedent thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
do we have the right to?
Why
do
not
that?
become
Yeah.
the awards room? Yeah, it's kind of a communication thing too, right? If you kind of, like, you might not put up permanently, but if you've got something.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good point. I agree with something maybe in the library here.
I do think your first idea, Joel, is pretty helpful actually, because it is one of our really clear missions to the community.
Yeah.
So tying it in with the missions map would also make sense. So there's a few good options I think we can do. I think your point is right, Ross, and I think that might be a future discussion on how can we formalize integration with ministries of the church with the actual church institution. But I think for the sake of kindness, putting it up as a part of our mission wall would be totally appropriate.
maybe that's the feedback. Once it's established, we're looking at putting it up in the mission wall area.
Do we have a picture of it? How does it look like?
There's two of them.
Is it appealing?
She sent a picture of it. She referenced one, but I don't think they actually attached it.
No, wait. I did want to maybe dwell for a second on the whole sacred cow piece, because like, I know even like dealing with some of the municipalities who got donations of things and wanted to. For how long, right? Like, for example, the Italian Centennial fountain that was donated like 80 years ago. They're now maintaining a gift that was given to them in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a sacred cow, right? And it's not that this is gonna become that, but I think we need to be conscientious of the realities of, okay, it's plaque to put it up. How long does it go up? Do we have the discretion to be able to take it down? Would we be offending anyone if we take it down by the, you know what I mean? Like,
That's why I was thinking maybe just a communication thing where you put it up, hey, we received this recognition, and then it's taken down after a month or.
or we said we want the
Yeah,
mission
packets out
recognition
every
every
year
year.
or
You could see it in
something.
the library if you want to check it out.
Communication or something like that.
I know when we first
We should
came out here.
highlight, I do agree with what Joel said and Pastor James. We should highlight them, the minutes.
Highlight
though.
it. Yeah.
Like whether you call it out, this is what we do. And then maybe don't put the plaques up or certificates, but just put a write-up of what the men's ministry is participating.
We had a real battle when we moved out here.
Crank it up just 1 degree. Is
Yeah.
He said 72.
I did know that song.
Turn the fireplace.
But when the two churches amalgamated and we came over here, there was a point blank, no plaques. Nothing was to be accepted under a name. And that was the golden rule. You won't find one plaque. They actually.
Plates.
But
Yes.
but the stained glass windows.
Yeah.
They got snuck through kind of, even though they told us, oh, we took the names off of them. They didn't take the names off. So there's a lot of controversy because they snuck something through that somebody else wasn't allowed to do. And so once you start a precedence, I'm just saying, you've got Men of Courage. Are they gonna have something? The women's group, do they want to have something recognized? We just want to, if we're gonna do it mission wise,
Mhm.
then I think, then open it up to everybody. But
So
don't just pick one group and say, well, we're gonna specialize it. That's all I'm, just
Those are
my point.
excellent points. Excellent comments. Yeah, James.
This is one of the reasons I think Joel's idea is so helpful is it does confine it within missions work. So if you're just having like a women's ministry and having a nice conference, that's not a practical service to the community necessarily. Like you're not going out and doing something. it's kind of just like, all right, we're just gonna get together and have a good time.
But if they had a workshop and they had somebody come in and they recognized them, does that mean they could put a,
And that conversation could be had.
so,
One piece of-
To go over to the nursing home.
That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
One piece of advice I heard from a pastor in CBOQ, he said, if you have people give the church something, then technically it belongs to the church.
Correct.
So then whatever we do with it is our decision after that. So at any point, if they're saying we want to hang up the plaque, we could say, well, you can donate it to the church and we can hang it up in the missions wall. And then whenever it's convenient for us, we can say, okay, it's time to take this plaque down. And if they complain to us, we say, well, you gave it to us. Like, do you want it back? Like, you can have it, or,
but
You
you know that conversation would happen if you go to take that plaque down after 3 months.
well, I
Why
don't
would
think
they
it,
take it down?
I don't think it needs to happen after 3
Well,
months,
you
but
know,
after
whatever
3
that
years,
time.
after
But you
3
have-
years, we can have
But you
that
have that
conversation.
conversation
I'll be a bad
before.
guy.
Yeah.
It may be up temporarily.
And say this is
Yeah.
gonna be our policy moving forward, that, yeah, we'd
That's
like
good.
to recognize you, but it's not something that's along forever embedded into the wall of the church.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, going back to my example there now, like if you give a gift to like, let's say the municipality or you're in town to come see, usually the gift actually has a contract that's tied to it, of like, it's for this long and for this, for this purpose, and you agreed to pay for the maintenance beyond this point or what, like, so not that we need a contract, but I'm saying it just needs to be upfront and what the
Right,
expectations
and
are. Yeah.
just communicate clearly,
Yeah.
that everybody knows moving forward.
So what do we have a couple of options. We can either just give a blanket no, we can give a blanket direction, or we can kick it back to decorating and say, we will stand behind whatever you decide. What do we think?
I think she's looking to us for direction.
She is looking to us for direction. We have the option of
back.
throwing it back, kicking it down to the lower courts.
Yeah, I don't want to do that, I think we should make a decision.
So we can either give her a location or tell her no.
I like the idea of the library. Personally, I would not like it on hallways or addition.
There's no hallway
Community.
location that's not random.
Yeah.
Or why is it in this hallway? Or why is it in this alcove or whatever?
And I don't like,
think it'd be really
community
nice
outreach
in
center
here.
either.
We decorate the community outreach center too much to put a plaque there, because it interfere with our ministries.
That's right, yeah.
I'd make a motion to hang temporarily up at the discretion of the decorating committee in the library area.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Second.
Aaron, seconded by Aaron, all in favor? Any opposed? Right.
Just like that plate, it can be
Yeah.
some.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, same to me.
That's what I was referring to, and you're,
Yeah, I know,
Yep, no, that's good.
no plaques made it, but somehow a plate from all of that.
and that can
Is
be,
that all of it?
Plaques, do they have to go
So,
on the wall or
no,
can
that's.
can they be propped up like these?
no
Forest Lane.
Oh.
is that the air, right now it's Arabic?
That's the Arabic church.
Arabic
That's
church,
not-
yeah.
Hey, Joel,
Yeah,
this is off topic, but did we ever do a motion to adopt the elections meeting minutes? Did I miss it completely?
we did. I don't remember.
did?
who Did it, but I do remember doing a motion
I
for
was
it.
talking about I have
We-
to abstain.
Yeah,
We did,
that's right.
Yeah,
We passed it around and we talked about the ballots. We passed it around and
we talked about
I don't recall who-
destroying the ballot. We took a vote for that, but I didn't have
Let's start
anything
with
written down about,
You might be right, because I original.
I think we did.
That'd be property committee. the new
Okay,
property.
so it's-
well,
Hey, can we
does
have a-
does somebody want to make a motion to adopt our elections
Perfect.
meeting minutes?
Yeah.
We did get approval to do
Dave?
these trips in here.
Anybody want a second Dave's motion?
Well,
Barb, thank you.
Barb, thank you, Barb.
All in favor?
what's the motion? I'm sorry.
So we're saying we talked to-
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think you're-
All right.
I don't abstain.
Since we are on Daniela, just a feedback, like, all the work that they're doing with renovations, maybe it would be nice to just kind of from board of directors to just verbally thank Daniela and the fit team, and then Daniel Blatt, the senior, and Tom, they
Yeah.
Maya helped them last week, and like, poor thing, she would come home and exhaust, and like, she's like, I don't know how they do it in their 70s, and climbing these. And they took some risk on that. We appreciate Dave, you donated, but they could not do what they did without the.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That was, that's world of it.
Thanks for bringing the harness too, because you're
Yeah.
that.
Always like swinging.
I had to tell you that. I said, now don't go up that thing without the harness.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I
Yeah,
ran.
yeah.
He
Make sure you have the harness on, right? Yeah.
On
We have
that
photo
line-
of Tom on a ladder and like it had to be top secret. Don't show that to Susan.
Don't show it to Bruce.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bruce.
exactly. Oh, no.
But anyways, joking aside, we maybe just verbally, nothing big for now, but if we can just acknowledge their hard work for now and everything they did and.
Does that come from you?
The.
The acknowledgement?
And
is
they're worried
it-
about
It would be nice as a board if we can just.
Huh?
Am I
Then they're
acknowledging
worried
them?
about-
Right, I don't think at this, there'll be opportunity, I'm sure.
I was gonna say, why don't you do a
I
Sunday
didn't know
morning?
that.
Let's wait till the renovations are over, should we? Yeah.
Yeah, do a recognition.
Yeah,
Do a formal Sunday.
I would do formal later, but if we
In the
can just do
meantime?
privately for now, just, it's our first meeting since they did it.
Yeah.
So it would be nice, they know that board of directors noticed that the hard work and it looks
So
great.
that's Daniela, who.
Daniela,
Maya,
Daniel
Tom.
Senior and
Tom and Daniel. Although your
Tom
mother
and-
came in once to watch them.
Daniel Blatt.
Oh, Dan Brown.
Got that? Yes, sir. Was there one more?
That's
I
The
got-
electrician,
He
he
was
was,
Joe, yeah.
was he assisting?
That's.
your
No, so it's a relative of.
Yeah. Because he's going to be also.
Yeah.
Helping doing, and has with the wire.
Mirko helped at all or no?
Who's that, Rob?
I don't know his name.
Joe Cop.
Joe Cockchuck.
Copchuck?
Joe.
Is he gonna, he's
Good
one
luck
of
with
these
that
guys?
one.
He did that before, yeah.
Joe,
Your dad and Tom, I'm looking at him going, I don't
I don't know.
think Mirko
think
was
he-
working on
I don't know how they do it.
what's that name?
Joe, Joe.
Yeah.
Cockchuck, K.
Joel,
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Okay.
there was mention of the missions wall map. I'm just wondering
Yeah.
where that stands.
Did you hear that? I didn't hear that.
Nothing new was decided in respect with that tonight. Now, it was already on hold pending the renovations, pending the fit committee. I'm going off memory. I might be wrong. Does anyone remember where that's at?
I can't remember. where it was.
I think our fit committee prioritized this construction and it required some modifications here, didn't it?
Yeah.
So we,
I think
thought
we
we
have
were
a
putting
meeting
it on the
coming up,
wall.
don't we?
But then. the
Dave's gonna
pictures
call
got
one
put
soon.
up.
Um,
Right. Weren't
working those, the
Aaron,
panels.
crosses, yeah.
weren't you just saying?
Guess we
get
give an
plywood and
update
get it-
later, Joel?
Pardon me,
we
sir?
were gonna
We probably
put it-
give
was saying just
update
put it up.
later.
Yeah.
But they put the picture,
Mission
fit
map.
committee pictures up.
Yeah.
Fit committee's got a meeting.
But once, once
Perfect.
that's
Well,
They
done,
could come
Okay.
down,
yeah,
get them.
I think we'll have the fit committee look into that again. Thank you.
but Bart
Thanks
was
for not
saying,
letting that go.
Bart was saying that like originally we had talked about putting it out here where the mailbox used
That's
to
right,
be,
yeah.
which is now we have these things mounted there that are
We
talking
were
about the
even,
product.
was it gonna be
Put it
long
in
term?
the
You
library.
know, it has been here
At
and here
one
and
meeting,
here.
we finally just said, just get it on the plywood and get it up. And then all of a
Yes, we
sudden.
did say that and then it never
Yeah,
happened.
so I
Pictures just got put up.
Right.
That was, we were in the chapel in that
Mm.
meeting.
I thought once that wall came down, it was gonna go where the kitchen is.
Yeah, something like that, but it's
Yeah.
changed because they weren't gonna
But
wait.
for the
that
short
long.
term, we said.
Short
Put it,
Get it up, yeah.
yeah, like how
We
long have
did
we
say
had
that.
it?
That's right, yes.
Yeah, it needs to go up, sure.
Yeah, we can move it, yeah.
Yeah, that was
I
good.
think we.
Can I
did
bug
those-
the fit committee to follow up with missions and outreach?
Yeah.
And put the right gears in motion? I think we could probably take down those fit committee posters now. I think they've had their,
Yeah,
we're well into the project. Everybody's seen them. Okay, anything else pressing before we move on to the main event here?
Danielle is all set to go on the drapes here too.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, good.
We got two estimates and
You're going to miss the sun?
and
No,
I'm sorry?
no, I-
That's
Repainting,
awesome.
like the because there are accent walls throughout the church, right? Like
no, not yet.
so there's that arch that's already been painted,
Right,
and then there's the whole one across like the balcony where it's gonna be, right? There's an accent piece there that's in that bluish, that aqua color.
there's a proposal gonna be looked at.
Yeah.
To actually look at painting the whole sanctuary.
Sanctuary,
Yeah.
after the fact, yeah.
Yes. Because I think the next step would be also to take the storage room down.
Yeah.
And so when that happens, then you're looking at basically, painting wouldn't be that much more.
Yeah.
Throughout the rest of it. But yeah, we got two estimates, so they just have to pick up the proper ones for you in here, color, and it's ready to go.
Okay,
It's
thank you for the update.
$400
Sure.
installed.
Anything else pressing before we move on to the areas of service? All right, so to bring Gary up to speed, we've been obviously with the implementation of our new documents, our serving and ministry application, conduct and lifestyle policy, constitution, not new, and statement of faith. We wanted to outline what positions in the church require what requirements between membership, a signed serving ministry application, a background check, a plan to protect training, and try to kind of get our volunteer positions regimented a little bit.
But
Obviously.
even understood and documented.
Yeah, and understood,
Yeah,
exactly. Ultimately, we may see this list expanded to include job descriptions under each role, but for now, we should get it rolling out with at least what's required. So we've had each committee go, or each committee chair go back to their committees and put together a list of volunteer positions and what proposed requirements would be for each position. And we are hashing out tonight what we want to finalize on the board level with respect to what committees need or what positions need what for requirements. Everybody's got it digitally. That's great. If not, I did print out some copies here of the draft that was circulated. I think we're best just to go from the top down and go through them line by line and see where we're in agreement or where we would like to make some amendments. Did you need to set?
Yeah, I
that
was
up?
gonna ask Cheryl to pass
Yeah.
me on this copy.
No.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't want to take control, that's all.
Thank
Thank you so much, sir.
That would be.
No,
That'd be
Oh,
good. Yep.
Yeah,
Big difference. I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
big difference. We talk, I'm like, we
I
talked
think
about
there
there's
is.
a couple positions that like,
You have one, Gary?
Yep.
Two of us are piggybacking on the church's account for Microsoft,
Okay.
and we'll get checked.
I hope everybody had taken a chance to kind of go through them in detail and make some notes on them. Is everybody cool if we just start at the top and work our way down?
Sure.
All right. First line then. The board of directors members, that will be us. They require a church membership, a serving and ministry application, and a background check. Does anybody here have a background check?
Question, who does the background checks?
You do that yourself with the police.
No, no,
department,
you're talking the
Vulnerable.
vulnerable sector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, and, like, did you commit any financial crimes? I don't know if that would come out of a background check,
Is
You
that
can get
one
one.
standard background checks?
but I'm saying, should we?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, as to me, if someone's.
Should be
who's
about,
been
not
charged.
just a
Maybe
vulnerable.
good for.
When you go to the OPP though, it's very specific, a vulnerable sector background
That's
check.
vulnerable
right?
sector.
Yeah.
I had it back.
It should be a background check.
But it should be just a full-on background check, yeah, because that's all mine was. Sector, yeah.
I don't know.
no, the RCMP does one too, but I don't know if you're required to do that one. Because when I was in children's aid, I had to get two done,
Oh, okay.
one from the provincial police and one from the RCMP. The RCMP went Canada-wide,
Right,
makes sense.
yeah.
That makes sense
Yeah.
over OPP.
so
You
I
just-
don't know if that's still
We're
effective
gonna
down
have
here
to
or
get
not, I have no
all
idea.
that.
I'd say the city does that, though. Windsor's police department would do
Do
it.
they?
Well, the
I always went to- I
vulnerable
always went to the
sector-
OPP, yeah.
OPP does it.
But it depends where you live. In
Yeah, I
Windsor,
agree
you go to
with
Windsor.
Yeah, you have to know where you live.
Tecumseh is OPP and
Didn't used to be like that.
Amherstburg is still Windsor at this
Do
point.
we need to make a second column for two different levels of background checks, or do we roll them
Or
all
we
into
just put
one?
a star or something, like, well, it depends, like, are we asking for that level of background check for everyone, or just, because I think we have vulnerable sector check for everyone, and then the background check maybe for our directors, maybe it should be.
Yeah.
Something to a greater degree than just vulnerable sector, I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, when you
Yeah.
think people are making contracts and different things
Yes.
like that, there should be possibly a
Absolutely, yeah.
police check part of
Yeah.
like the actual.
Yeah, I think for the board of directors, it's fair to elevate it to the highest point, is my opinion.
And keep in mind, I applied for my one with Tecumseh
Background.
6 months ago, still haven't got it. Everything's online now. You
Oh,
can't,
really? Oh, I got mine so fast, yeah.
no,
Absolutely. Okay.
now it's like.
have to go to Harold.
Windsor.
Probably because there's a lot of Gary Billings out there. that-
Actually, there is. No, I need to get fingerprinted. There's somebody, there was somebody
Yeah.
with my birth date and
Yeah.
my name that I had to go fingerprinted.
Well,
Certified criminal record checks.
Yeah.
Sorry, are we making a second column for two different background checks?
Or just add it and
Or we
bracket
just do it two
next
dots?
to it. I would just,
To keep it simple.
not gonna apply to.
Yeah.
that's.
put a footnote at the
I
bottom.
would just add it to.
So
Yeah.
board of directors needs a financial background check. I'm gonna make that an F.
Financial. So there's criminal, there's financial, like how many?
Or is it just criminal?
I think it's-
Because if you charge a financial crime, that would just be a criminal, yeah. Gotcha, criminal.
So C and D.
And also vulnerable sector?
Cause I think we should have two distinctions then.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so board of directors members would need both.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wouldn't the criminal check take into account the other one?
not
I would think
necessarily,
so.
no.
Okay. Wow, okay, so it's $60 for the
I think the
criminal.
vulnerable
one.
sector check. It might look into crimes you weren't necessarily convicted of,
Yeah,
if they were involving minors.
yeah,
It's just, I
You
don't.
may be able
I'm
to
not 100%.
choose
yeah. I
at
think
the
you might be
same
right.
time. Just go, when we go to do
Yeah.
it, let's check it out and see what it
I
is.
assume there will
Yeah.
be compensating as a church, whoever.
We have offered that before. It's not a great deal of money. I think it's like $40 or $60.
$60.
Yeah.
We've always said that if it's an issue, it's like with
Yeah.
the other things, like asking you to get your for the kitchen. I
Oh,
had
yeah,
said,
sorry,
I had
yeah.
said, like, you wanna get your
Safe food.
safe food handling, you know,
Oh,
you're welcome to get it yourself, and if
Yeah.
if it's too much for you, submit the receipt.
Our
Nope,
CMP
submit.
connected and police issue.
Yeah.
I bet this is gonna take the place of both.
Yeah, that could be,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is everybody in agreement then with the board of directors members? They need to be members, they need to have the serving administrator application signed, and they need to have both levels of background check. All in agreement? Okay. Church clerk, we had down, they need to be a church member, they need to sign.
How, like, just to
What the
clarify,
process?
yeah, exactly, like, can you email Joel and myself that link that you just found that?
Sure.
And then we have to clarify, we have to give them where to go to get this. You cannot just, okay, I need it, well, how do I get that?
Yes, of course, yeah.
We have to clarify.
So we are nominating people for the board of directors, and we're saying, okay, before you become a board of directors, you have to get it yourself.
Yes, you have to get it yourself. It's not something the church can, it's not, the church can't do a background check for you.
Yeah, you have to apply it.
Or yeah, on you. It's something you have to voluntarily get and then submit the results to the church.
Okay.
I'll pay you back. Right?
Well, again, I think we offer always stand.
Only if you
right?
pass.
Yeah.
Not true.
I'll leave now.
You may have to do something at your annual meeting and just to make a footnote.
Yes.
That, upon successful background check.
Exactly.
But,
Yeah.
well, and then if we're doing the background checks, if there is something that's come up, does that prevent them from serving, or is it just for our information?
Right, because we would just get a background check, and if there's notes on there, there's notes on there. It doesn't come back as a pass fail.
No,
Yeah.
but even in terms of like, then I guess it becomes an HR issue, right? If there is something that's on there.
Yeah.
If someone's been nominated to a position and they do have a criminal background,
Conviction, yeah.
then.
Well, I'd say definitely if it was the finance
Yeah,
repair,
yeah.
you're not gonna make.
Exactly,
back-
and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
you'd
why,
be saying no.
Yeah.
That's why
But-
I'd say like, because you may ask somebody to be a finance chair a week before them not, or a couple weeks before, where there wouldn't be enough time for them to get the background check.
Yeah.
So you just have to do a motion
Provision.
upon
Yeah.
successful background checks, right? And if it
Yes.
comes back that,
but make them aware too
Yeah.
that one of the
yeah,
requirements.
they're gonna have
that's
to
why
do a
we're doing this,
background
yeah.
check, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, why? The sun's helping? Well, it's blocking the sun.
It hit the sun at the perfect.
Oh, did it?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's angling off the screen. Oh, no way.
It's like car windows.
Start a fire in the
Oh,
library.
yeah.
All
You're
right,
Driving behind somebody and you get that car, it's just the right size, but.
church clerk, they should be a member, they should have a signed serving administrator application. That was it, but I thought they should have a background check also.
Well, I-
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I wanted to ask, are they signing anything? Like, so are you signing anything as a church clerk, or are you just taking minutes? Because if she's just taking minutes, I don't see why, if she's got a criminal
Well,
record.
but she would have access to sensitive.
The church
She has
clerk-
access
the
to all the
church clerk
sensitive
does
information,
some-
yeah.
Is collating some of the financial documents to go to the bookkeeper.
Right,
right
check,
now.
right.
Yeah, I would too.
So-
And I could have a list of crimes.
Like she's not,
in mind.
approved- they're not approved, the church
I
clerk.
mean, I'm not do or die on that, but that was
Yeah.
kind of my thought that the church clerk is privy to a significant amount of sensitive church information, financial information, and
E-transfer.
and yeah, it's privy to a lot of responsibilities.
These checks, like the vulnerable.
5
ones.
years, I think.
5 years.
3 to 5.
Cause I
I don't know, I get one every year.
went down to get it, but Nick was with me and he was like very young. And I'm thinking I might be, it might be time. Who lets people know when they're.
Yeah.
They're right now,
There's
they're
a
trying
file.
to, we're trying to
Yeah.
file them all.
That's would be an HR.
So I have,
Yeah.
You
I
that
have access to
information?
them all.
Because
The
if I
ones
have
that,
to get that one done, I may as well get the
Yeah,
the
so-
other one
Yeah.
Anyway,
And some have
right?
them because they're dealing with kids, but there's, most of the people in here wouldn't have one
Yeah.
background.
So what are our thoughts on
There
adding a
probably
background check
do.
to the church clerk?
Sure.
I'm okay with that. Okay. Criminal and vulnerable.
Nope.
All committee members.
Inside information.
Okay, yeah, I know, that's what I mean.
Okay, okay.
Any more discussion on the church clerk? Sorry. And then, yeah, next line we have down is a blanket all committee members line. As I was going through, I'm curious if we need to remove that line altogether, because it kind of blanket ties us into something a dead end we may not want to get tied into, right? There could very well be committee positions that don't necessarily require that. In fact, if we go down this list, we have a lot of positions that could potentially be committee positions that don't require membership. I'm wondering if we're just having ourselves in by adding the
all
line.
have to
For
be
our constitution,
Yeah.
members.
Yeah, committee members
Yeah,
have to
and
be
serving
members.
administrative application. So I would say that that stays, because I was looking through the other committees and it doesn't call out, like each committee doesn't call out a committee member.
Yeah.
Task where it'd be duplication of, you know, so I would say that just you leave it.
So all committee members, that's minimally, they'll have to have that.
Yeah,
And then.
and then the addition is if they take on, if they're in pastoral care and worship and they're also
Need extra.
care team member, then it'd be a
Background,
background. Or something like that.
How do we feel about taking the serving administrator application requirement off there? Again, it just makes it a big blanket requirement and ties our hands down the road. We can drill into that as we get into the individual volunteer positions.
Are these like the
Just committee members.
committees, just like my committee,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
HR,
exactly, yeah.
they should have, shouldn't they be member? Or am I missing one?
No, Constitution requires committee
Yeah.
members. to be
Yeah.
members on a committee.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's all we're asking, are we not?
I would
Yeah.
think that,
I think that's
if you're a
fine.
committee member, wouldn't you be serving in ministry? Like, that's the point of
Yeah.
being on a committee.
Right, I just want to make sure we don't make this list too, heavy and regimented. I want to give us more breathing room and flexibility, not less breathing room and flexibility.
You're saying like in the case that they're not actually serving, they're just a voting member?
Well,
No, they're
so
not.
this is what we'll need to define our terms. There's a difference between somebody who has signed the serving and ministry application and somebody who is serving, right? So this is somebody who needs a signed serving and ministry application. We have the whole point of, well, one of the points of this list was to identify areas that people could serve
Yeah.
without necessarily having signed the application.
Yeah.
So let me just interject and ask something that's related. We use the word committee generically to mean one of the 6, main working committees of the church, but we also use the word committee for other things like, the ad hoc decorating committee, which is not the same level of, an elected position and that sort of thing. So maybe we just need to call those subcommittees or something so that we are clear on our terminology.
Why don't we just call it elected committee members? Because that would be
Yeah,
clear.
oh, that's what you're
Yeah.
worried about. I assumed it was just all board committee, working
that's
committee.
what I was
all-
That's what I assumed as well, but Todd raised an excellent
Yeah.
point. We
Just
call
put it
other
on.
people in other positions committee members that aren't what we're thinking of.
So you have that, okay, so I would do all working committee members there because you
Working committee.
because you
Working
cover-
committees, yes.
Because I think you cover decorating committee and that down further, any like
Mhm.
other.
Yeah.
It is.
Committees, right? So I just put in working committee.
Working committee members, and then maybe I'll put in brackets elected, just in case, someone doesn't know what working committee
Well,
means.
that would be me. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So elected.
So you're saying the folks that get put on the individual
Yeah, I think
teams,
Each working committee, yeah.
and you're saying, are we not having them?
The ones
Fill a
that show
survey?
up on this, right?
Yeah.
Like the ones we've actually.
Well, we
Yeah.
want to know, yeah.
Are you saying
what I
not
assumed
to
it
have
was
them
when it was-
sign the serving administrator?
That's the next thing to discuss.
Yeah, so they need to be church members. That's in the Constitution. That's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Are we requiring them to have signed the serving and minister application? There conceivably be
I would
cases
suggest
where,
that the nominating committee has to have conversations with people they're interested in selecting for the annual meeting, election meeting. And when those positions require a background check or a crim check, that they have to have those conversations early enough that they can get that done when it's a position that requires that. But in terms of all the working committees, maybe it's appropriate that everybody has completed a serving a ministry application so that the nominating committee, when they're going to approach somebody, they have them fill that out so that they actually know what their interests are and what their gifting is, and they've had a discussion with them about that.
I don't see why we don't.
Well,
So
well,
I guess
yeah.
that's what I'm missing.
Why we don't, let's sorry.
Why we would not have them sign it.
if
Yeah,
I
thought
under,
we just went through that.
if I understand, we had the church actually voted to institute the serving in ministry document. So I feel like it would make sense.
But it wasn't determined what was gonna be covered by it. And that was the
okay.
tricky part, right? So we instituted the document, but then,
But we kind of just
What,
did
yeah.
that with our working committees last year, had them all review and sign.
Yes, exactly.
The ministry.
Yeah.
That was voted on, or like it was voted on that we needed the document and then it was made, or the document was
Document's
presented?
great.
document was made, presented, then voted on, but these are the ambiguities, right? Is it literally everybody that does anything in the church? Because, you push a broom in the church, you need a serving a ministry application signed, you need
Well,
a,
My
I don't
thought
think
process is if the congregation feels like that's a good standard for people to be held to, I feel like that's a reasonable standard for the elected committee members.
The problem was the congregation didn't necessarily feel it was a reasonable standard. It was only voted in with barely 80% approval. So that's why I'm cautious about being overly heavy-handed with something that at a minimum 20% of the church is not on board with.
I do think that we do have distinctions in terms of who can serve in what capacity. Like, and there are lots of, I think as we get further down, you'll see that I think there's a lot that maybe we say probably don't need a serving ministry application to, because I'm thinking even like one that came up for me was, what's it called? Like filling the tank and like taking the water out of the tank.
Yeah.
I really don't need to know that you align with me on the faith. Put water in the,
Yeah.
I guess if you're cursing the water, maybe, like, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't know that that's the threshold for me. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to serve and you're looking for anywhere to serve, yeah, we'll find places. And so, and if for whatever reason you have reservations against the, ministry application, sort of ministry application, there should be lots of opportunities on this list. I think we gotta go through them.
We're going to go through the whole list in detail, but in terms of just the 6 elected committees, Joel, do you have one or two of those that you're thinking of when you think of, I don't see that committee requires a serving ministry application completion?
Yeah, I don't think there'd be any one full committee where the entire committee wouldn't require it, but I could, and I don't have a specific example, but I feel like I could see an example. I feel like I could see a scenario where, a committee member on a committee would be in a role that didn't necessarily require it. And I'm cautious about closing the door when we've got most of the roles defined further down the page anyway.
I mean, we just got this, we went through this last year with this discussion. Pastor Steve was, on board that nominating committee or working committee members should have signed the survey of ministry. So come back from vacation after we had all that discussion and we
changed it.
we just changed it.
Yeah.
I don't, without his input, I'd kind of want his input to it. If we want to table it until he gets back, but it's just my thought.
And like I said, I sense that working committee members should probably have that one. Like I said, I think there'll be others that I won't feel so strongly about, but I think I feel strongly about this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Nope, there seems to be consensus around that. Is there anybody else who is opposed to proceeding with that? Okay, so all working elected committee members will require a church membership and require serving a ministry application.
No background check.
No background check, no plan to protect training.
Okay.
We have the nominating committee next then. They require church membership and a serving a ministry application, no background check, no plan to protect training.
Like that's one where I'd be like, not really, like, they're not serving in a ministry, but they're effectively choosing the
Picking
trajectory
people
of
to
the
serve in
church,
the-
right?
Yeah,
Like, and so that's where it's like the classic thing of like, is this a, you know, a primary issue, a secondary issue, or third
Yeah,
tertiary
yeah,
issue, right?
exactly.
And I probably put in the category secondary, but it can impact your primary issues, so.
Yeah.
That's why I sensed, again, I feel pretty strongly that even though you could make an argument to say no, I probably gonna say yes for nominating.
No, out of all the ones I'd make an argument for no for, that's not one of them.
Yeah.
So everybody's in consensus for nominating committee, church membership, serving administrator application, no background check, no plan to protect. Ministry staff.
Oh, obviously.
The church staff, like.
Should we
pastors,
clarify? I'm assuming this is like pastoral staff
Yeah,
covering
pastoral
both,
staff.
both lay and vocational pastors. Should we clarify?
Yeah, I was confused. about-
Well, they have the
Ministry staff,
administrative and
pastoral,
custodial act.
Yes.
That's what we have.
So pastoral, comma,
Yeah.
No, what's the proper
Yeah.
term? It's
vocational.
vocational,
Yeah,
thank you,
vocational and lay.
vocational.
The draft. oh,
Sorry, vocational is the pastoral staff?
Vocational means that they do it for a living,
Oh,
Right.
oh,
and then lay just means that you're,
oh, I'm
you're
confused.
on
Okay,
ministry, like you're part of the staff, but you're not paid.
okay.
Or minimally paid, I don't know if that's what the lay is, but
We have them requiring church membership, serving a ministry application, a background check, and plan to protect training. And I'm guessing they would need both background checks, correct?
yeah.
I don't think I have both, so I'll have to. investigate
Out you
that.
go.
I don't think Pastor Steve has both, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying, like.
Yeah, that's really a new addition. to the
Yeah.
Yes.
community.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry.
I don't think anybody has both.
Any comments on pastoral staff requirements?
Again, I think it's looking back to, so like, let's say we run a background, let's just use James as
Yeah.
an example, right? We run a background check on him and we found out that, I don't know, he smacked the mailbox with a baseball bat when he was 18 years old,
Yeah.
right? Does that mean that he can't serve, or is that like, we just require it to evaluate?
Right, so
Exactly.
exactly, so we haven't put in any kind of pass fail requirement.
No.
It's that they need to have one done and on file, and then from there, it's up to, the board and the HR staff to say.
Yeah, you
okay,
decide.
Is this a big deal or not? Yeah.
Listen, down the road, you may very well have someone that joins this church that was doing a whole lot
Yeah.
of bad things
Yeah.
before they started coming here.
Absolutely.
So I guess, you
That's why I
know,
asked the question.
Yeah,
for sure.
Sure,
I
we
mean,
already do.
I think
Yeah.
that's the nature of Christian ministry too, is you have people that are straight up criminals and then they
Yeah.
find the Lord
Yeah,
and
that's
it
right.
Yeah.
completely changes, right? So it'd be a discretionary issue.
But it doesn't mean that you put them in charge of finance,
Yes,
right?
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
if they've been caught embezzling,
yes.
put them somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we have consensus around ministry pastoral stuff. Spectacular. Administrative and custodial staff. We have no church membership required. But we had down that it still requires a serving administrator application and a background check. No plan to protect training.
What is your administrative?
The
Secretary.
office staff, secretary, janitorial.
Secretary? And
Because
define that a little bit,
Administrative assistant that would be writing checks and different things such as that.
but with custodial staff in
No,
the
they're
same
just-
bracket?
Just other
Like
staff.
just support.
It just basically.
it's support staff, so that's why they put it together, Ross.
Okay,
I asked that, I was thinking that too, like, why are they together? But yeah, I look at it.
It's just support.
It's
Yeah.
essentially office staff.
yeah, but then you're asking, for Chantel, for instance, I assume,
Yes,
okay, we
yes,
want
Chantel
you
would
to
want this guy.
serving in ministry application?
I feel like a serving administrator application seems excessive for this role.
So do I.
Yeah.
Anybody else agree?
Yeah.
Like, do we require them to share our beliefs? That's the question.
I think this is an extreme argument, but if you wouldn't want to necessarily hire like an atheist to do this role, right? You would want to be employing a Christian. Now, the serving ministry does not define you as a Christian, so I'm just making.
Serving
a
administrator
hyperbolic-
has a line that says, I acknowledge Jesus Christ as my savior.
Yeah, so
So
exactly how much alignment are
you're
we
either a
asking?
Christian or a liar, which I guess if you're not a Christian, you very well could be a liar.
Especially someone that's gonna be working with the pastors,
Mhm,
like the admin assistant, you know, we
mhm.
don't,
Yeah, like I also.
I think this should be split up and the custodial
This is
staff
also
should
like,
be
I
on
guess,
its
a
own line.
bigger HR question, because like you can't discriminate,
That's
but you
the
can
word,
have
yeah.
policies.
You can't in a church.
If you advertise for a custodial person
Yeah.
and you discriminate against, oh, you don't believe in Jesus Christ?
Good luck.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, we
We're
can't discriminate,
up
we can have a
against that.
policy that requires you to sign this document. No,
That's
Can we?
discrimination.
Private schools can discriminate against teachers on the grounds of faith.
Right, that's what I,
Obviously not on the grounds of sex or race, but they can,
Yeah.
they are allowed to discriminate on
Yeah,
grounds of faith.
we're well, I don't know.
I would like to keep it just for that reason to
That's what I'm
give
saying.
them you're either going to lie to me or you are born again, and if you're born again, I'm happy. Yeah, you don't want them to lie, but
No,
I would like to see a born again.
well, I think we all would,
Custodial
but
staff?
when you're saying just custodial staff,
Yes, we're talking about custodial staff
We're not
or
talking
other
about
office
contractors,
administrators.
we're talking about people that are on our staff.
That is, people aren't on payroll.
Yeah. that are-
People on payroll, not performing ministry is essentially what this is. Yeah,
Custodial.
cleaning the church, filing paperwork.
Yeah. Well, that's.
They have a lot of, to be honest, she
That
has a
includes-
lot of interaction with a lot of people.
oh, most certainly, most certainly.
So-
But we're talking about Chantel in this position, but if we didn't have Chantel, and we had to
had
go
some
get
issues.
somebody,
Yeah, and we
that,
had some issues with that.
I wonder at what level it has to come in, because when me and Heather were interviewing candidates for the summer student worker, she said, like, we can't just straight up ask them if they're a Christian. We have to
Right.
discreetly kind of try to find that out. And then, but now that we've hired them, we are having them sign the serving in ministry document. So it's kind of coming in post, but we couldn't use it as a discriminatory act during the interview.
Lit.
It's considerable.
So I wonder, like, we can't, I just think that the serving in ministry could perhaps remain as a post thing to make sure that we're,
They can always remain post, like.
yeah. After you're hired, can you sign this document? No? Okay, well, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Why?
I would like to keep it.
But we can't make them sign it before we even hire them.
well, then you can't leave it on here then, if that's what the board is
We
saying. we
can't fire
want.
them for not signing it.
Yeah.
If we hire them, we can't fire them for not signing it.
No.
Mhm.
Well, does pose a logistical
I think
challenge.
administrative should and custodial should.
I think that's two different,
Yeah, I think they
categories.
should be on a separate line.
I really do.
I wonder if we should pin that one until Pastor Steve is back too, just to get his input.
Okay, there's two items there. We shifting this down, making two separate things for administrative and custodial.
Well, administrative is handling, like,
So
the way I understand it, some of the files that could be in the church here, you're gonna deal with this, you're gonna deal with that.
Yeah.
Is that the custodian's job? I don't think it's in
So
that.
as we're unpacking this is supposed to be a list of volunteers. These are not volunteer positions. Should we just strike it off the list altogether? These are paid staff positions. These are not volunteer positions.
This is also being done to support HR.
Yeah.
Because HR is responsible for staff and
Responsible for
volunteers.
Staff, that's right.
And
yeah.
volunteers for the Constitution. That's why I'm saying this is actually to support them in making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Areas of service at Banmore.
Yeah, and it is an area of service.
Area of service, yeah, in my head, it was more of a volunteer list.
But you're right, this
For the
this
job
line
fair,
is paid.
posting these.
No,
Administrative
right,
and
yeah.
custodial are paid staff, so.
Okay, the administrative application, Chantel does not attend our church.
No, the
Administrative
administrative application
application.
doesn't require attendance.
Demonstrate the personal faith in Jesus Christ as his consistent walk with him. Regularly attends our worship service.
Right, not our worship
No,
service,
a
just a worship
a-
service.
No, our worship
does say
service.
that?
Does it really?
I'm reading it right now.
It says hours.
Has regularly attended our worship services in the last 6 months. Is in agreement with our statement of faith.
What is this? What is?
That's the administrative application.
Better be careful then. It says that.
So, I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm going,
But it is intended specific, like the Banwell, right? Like that's serving Banwell's ministry. That's why.
Yeah,
we
but
want
I'm
them to
saying, but if
serve
you go
our-
for-
Yeah,
But we're saying about custodian.
custodian.
Yeah.
Chantel doesn't attend our church.
Well, neither-
nor did.
Nor did
Maybe because you're
Amanda, when you think about
But
it.
that was,
Made her
that
sign
was,
it.
that was done purposely though, because
Yeah,
when
but we
did-
made her sign that. So
Right,
it's kinda
that
like-
we didn't actually want them to attend, so they didn't get bombarded.
Yeah,
That was from Pastor Alex. I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was
he
actually-
never wanted someone that
No,
was
I-
going to the church
Yeah,
to be in that position.
Yeah, so I'm just saying it, what it
Yeah,
says.
yeah. And that's a good point.
So,
Mhm.
Like I'm friends with like Harvest former custodian, and he did have that whole thing of like, it was just, he ended up quitting because it just burned out all the time. Like you couldn't go to church without.
no,
Yeah, other way.
Exactly.
What if we table this one? Because I would just say like,
Yeah.
it's taking us almost 40 minutes to get through 6 items or 60. right?
Yeah.
If we want to get it done, we either gotta. go
Nope, you're good point,
go
Dave.
through it.
So just maybe,
Right.
so I can clean up, though, am I splitting those two or no?
We'll split them. Yes.
But we may want to, there's a couple, there's the debate or
Yeah.
whatever. We
No,
may
good
want
call,
to,
Dave. Thank
we
you.
may want
There's
to
an
go on
empty
the
line
table,
here.
like the 5 or 6 that need more.
So
viewers.
custodial.
That's what they are.
Nope, that's
Yeah.
a, sorry, thank you. That's
Yep.
a good comment.
Otherwise, we might not get through it all
Yeah.
tonight.
You're right.
CBOQ, sorry, everyone okay with tabling that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I won't be here.
CBOQ Assembly Association Delegate, we have asking for church membership, serving in ministry application, no background check, no plan to protect training.
Hey, Joel, just to interrupt there,
Jesus.
we've also got that listed under the missions and outreach, because missions and outreach is tasked with, in the Constitution, with appointing those people.
Yes,
So it
Yes,
doesn't need to
correct.
be in both places.
that is correct, yes. Should we want to strike it from the list here and keep it under missions and outreach umbrella?
Sure.
Yeah.
The CBOQ Assembly Delegate.
They don't
Perfect. That
require,
makes
it's
sense.
different
Okay.
requirements.
That's
so
what I'm
on the
saying,
other
also.
one.
So.
Different requirements, sorry?
It doesn't have the serving ministry for the other.
That's right, the requirements are different, and we'll hash those out once we get there. Pastoral Care and Worship Committee then, we have the care team coordinator, needs to be a church member, needs to have a signed serving and ministry application, and needs to have a background check. This one I assume would just be vulnerable sector, or do we think we need both? Do we think we need no background check at all?
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable
I said
sector.
vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly. Any comments or proposed alterations? They're typically not dealing with children, so they shouldn't be planned to protect training.
So it was just vulnerable.
Just vulnerable.
That's, I have done just vulnerable sector. Because they are still dealing with vulnerable sector. Okay, any comments on that? Okay, care team member, we have the same requirements, church membership, serving in ministry application, and a background check.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to make
Any
sure.
comments on that? And only a vulnerable sector background check?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have a hospitality team coordinator, requires church membership. And we have down a signed serving in ministry application, no background check, no plan to protect. Really need a signed serving in ministry application?
If they're the coordinator, kind of want them in alignment with us, because you see the following
Yeah,
ones,
it's an
hospitality
yeah.
team, we don't require anything,
Membership
right?
for serving ministry, yeah, kind of makes sense to be,
yeah.
because they're in the leadership.
Yeah.
position.
What if the hospitality team coordinator is present at the event that has minors at a community outreach center? Not a big deal.
No,
They have no kind of influence or job description that would work
Just
with, that would work with
supporting.
minors.
Okay.
If we open up that door, then,
Yeah.
then everybody who attends the
Yeah,
church would
yeah.
need a background check, because they can all be somewhere where a child might be.
Fair enough.
Okay, everybody wants, we'll keep the serving and ministry application and keep church membership, okay? The hospitality team member for fellowship, luncheons, banquets, there are no requirements at all. No requirements to be a church member, no requirements for serving and ministry application, no requirements for background check, no requirements for plan to protect.
I think that's ideal, yeah, and again, something that you don't feel comfortable with any of it, but want to serve. Yeah, a good place to do it.
Yeah, because there's two ladies, at least one lady now, and doesn't attend our church, but she's helps out.
And that's why you need a coordinator, though. The coordinator is the one that's taking responsibility. Right?
Em and Dorothy look after it.
Yeah.
Mary and Martha Ministry to prepare.
So I'm
emergency
unclear why Mary and Martha would need to have a serving and ministry application if we don't need it for hospitality team. Maybe we should strike that as well.
I was of the same thoughts, Todd, yeah.
I wondered about that too. There.
I wonder if it's because they might be delivering meals to the family.
Especially we don't require them to be a member. Seems odd that we would not require them to be a member,
Which means.
and they would be making and delivering meals, but we
The
need
reason
a
for
serving
that is
ministry
because
application.
your mom's not a member.
So
Yeah.
that's the same thing, yeah.
I think that's why.
I think she'd be okay not cooking. Really do it. Just saying, if
Serving
you
in
want to add it,
ministry
you want to add it, cooking.
brings you back to being a member, right? Doesn't it?
No, serving
No.
ministry application does not require
No,
membership.
it doesn't
It
require-
requires attendance, not membership.
Says you bring with their statement of faith and all this stuff.
Sorry, so was that one in or out for Mary and Martha?
They do more than.
Is there a
prepare
coordinator? Do we need to delineate between a coordinator and a member?
meals. Prepare meals.
So I don't know how it functions.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a better sense of how it functions? Is there a coordinator and then?
And
I
Mary
don't know how
Martha,
it works, to be honest.
I
I was
think
gonna
it is-
ask what legal liabilities do we have? Like if someone brings a meal and someone gets sick, they eat the food and they get sick, like can they come back and sue Banwell because someone from our community brought them a dinner?
I think technically yes, but that's why.
I would think
Yeah,
not if
sure.
it's delivered to a member.
No, only members.
I would think if we're
The
delivering it
members
to Joe Blow community member, potentially,
Yeah,
I
but-
think if we deliver it to a member, that's. a fellow member.
99.9% of the meals, because my wife makes them,
Have they gotten sick?
are, yeah, they all get sick.
Well, I think.
And we sue them.
Well,
No, I mean,
I'm assuming they're required to have a food handling certificate.
yes,
I don't know if we need to make that a column on here or not, but
They-
that would check that box as a requirement, right?
I don't think they do.
they're
don't
not
think they
required to have a food. The only people that are required to have a food are ones that are operating out of our kitchen here. At home, you don't need one.
Right.
So the meals prepared at home. And Jenny and I delivered some, well, we usually go together to deliver the meals. The other people, I don't know how they work out. I think they deliver too.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Is it a drop off? Do you just drop the
No,
meal off?
no,
Or do you
no.
visit with the person?
we give
when
them,
you're
we give them
dropping
some,
them
we
off?
give them some M&Ms, which is minerals and. And then we go in and talk to them and let them know it's from the church. The meals that are delivered are done at the request. Like if somebody wants one, they're called and ask if they want one. It's not from, because
okay.
you're home,
Yep.
you get one. It's requested. So we call them and say, oh, I don't. Jenny usually calls
Yeah.
them.
But are they going to members? Like the meals are going to members?
Yep. All the ones we've done are members.
oh,
It's people within the church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. So like, you're serving in a ministry. It's a care ministry.
Yeah, it is kind of a mystery.
Like a care team.
Usually, right now,
So-
It is an extension of the care, like they.
Yeah.
It is because
Right.
that's why I asked if you're
True.
going in to have a visit with them and that it is kind of a care
It's the
team
extent.
ministry.
and Sandy is doing that now. Sandy, all this.
So I would say.
So, yes,
But you're not a representative of Banwell's. We don't require your membership. But we do we care that,
if we're elevating to the position that they're performing pseudo pastoral roles, we need to make that very clear because we have like a care team and we have significant
Yeah.
requirements for a care
Yeah,
team.
right.
And I don't think we can shoot both sides of the same coin, or we say, well, we need to make sure that you're all set to deliver pastoral ministries, but you're not really in a role of delivering pastoral ministries, and that's not what your position is lined up for, and you don't even need to be a member.
So do we take it off? Like, is that?
I feel like we take it off. Anybody else?
You can't take Mary Martha off because they
Like-
do. it.
No, we take the requirements for serving a ministry application off.
Oh,
Like you could technically be from another church.
That's right.
You happen to serve in a Mary Martha. Right?
mhm.
Anyone in the
Yeah.
community can make a
That's-
meal for anyone else in the
Yeah, yeah.
community and exchange it at any time.
yeah.
This just happens to be a slightly more formal
Yeah.
ministry, but
Yeah.
it's the
Alright.
same thing.
Let's take it off. Okay.
So the whole thing is.
All in agreement?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mary and Martha has no church membership, no serving a ministry requirement, no background check, and no plan of protection.
Just take off serving. in
Kids.
ministry.
Sure, I'm making the changes. We don't.
Yeah, I'm just,
Yeah.
something to do.
Communion setup, we currently have requiring church membership, requiring a serving a ministry application, no background check, no plan to protect training.
Yeah, I think that's fair because we treat them as like, well, they're basically like our diacons, right? So we do require church membership. And they're certainly serving in a very critical ministry, and so I think those are both appropriate. Yeah. But the other two, I don't really need to know who you robbed last week. I just have to make your peace with God before you serve communion, so.
Oh, sorry, this is communion setup or communion serving?
Set up.
Do we need a line for communion serving? I don't.
We were
recall
talking
seeing that
about
here.
that, because now we actually we create a new position called the communion, what's it called, leader,
Right, yes, I recall that, yeah.
right?
That's her, right?
Yeah,
Like,
so Patty does both right
uh,
now. Do we
Patty.
break that out, or we just call
Patty.
it communion
Patty,
setup
yeah.
and,
And serving.
and leadership?
But if we follow
Coordinator.
constitution and then servers are members of the board of directors, then you already covered them.
That's right, you already covered them.
You
today,
read
so,
it,
yeah.
it's now.
So we make a new line for community servers.
Well, he's
I don't
arguing
think you
that-
meant board of directors. I think you meant working committees.
That's,
Yeah,
yes.
sorry, yes.
Yes,
Thank
well, he's
you.
arguing that our diaconate, like we pull community from our existing.
We would like to go back to our.
That's not a constitutional requirement. That's something we're doing right now, but that could very
yeah.
easily change tomorrow.
Yeah.
It wouldn't require a motion, a vote, or
Yeah.
a constitutional amendment.
I mean, there's no harm in adding a line, and I do think folks still apply though, you should be member, and you should, vote serving on committee.
Yeah, but if we're putting this out for a volunteer fair, we always need community servers. We don't ever need community
Yeah.
setup.
Yeah.
So make a new line and copy communion setup for communion
Server.
servers.
Yeah.
It would be nice to get a few more people on that roster. I mean, I know right now we're using committees, but that. Okay, so both community setup and community servers need a church membership. They need serving administrator application. They do not need a background check. They do not need a plan to protect. Okay. Now, baptism coordinator, we have requires church membership, requires a serving administrator application, no background check, no plan to protect training. Wondering if they're involved with changing in robes and, you know, it sometimes a little chaotic. You're running back and forth. We got people are in different washrooms, in and out, you're helping with robes. We need a background check or plan to protect. We do baptize children. There is changing involved.
In
Should we be
theory,
adding that
if
in?
me or Steve stepped out of the room, then they would be alone in the room
Yeah.
with the baptismal candidates, which would potentially include some children.
Yep.
Now, it might include their parents and other adults.
Yeah.
But it is a pretty significant role.
Yeah.
I wonder if they should have plan to protect.
Yeah, I had background check on here, but I could absolutely see plan to protect too
Yeah,
as a
I would-
worthwhile.
Say that.
So both of them then?
You think?
Well, there's no like
Background check.
teaching, but like, you know, people are gonna go get changed in the bathrooms. Like, do you know, as a baptismal coordinator, like, don't go into the bathroom with
Yeah, yeah.
young people, you know, like,
Sure.
sometimes people need it to be
At
told
least
them.
to understand the plan to protect policies and training us.
All right,
Plan to protect for sure.
convince me. That's
Well,
no coordinator.
I think the only reason it would be reduced is if it was a guarantee that me or Steve
Yeah.
would be with them at all times.
Yeah.
In which case you have all the requirements anyway.
Okay, so all four for baptism coordinator?
Is everybody okay with that? All four requirements for baptism coordinator?
Yep.
Okay. It moves us on to welcome desk.
And sorry,
Sorry, go
did you
ahead.
say V or C or both?
I just said V.
Vulnerable, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, thank you for correcting that.
Welcome desk.
Welcome desk. We have no to church member, yes to a serving administrator application, no background check,
No to
no plan to
church
protect.
I would
Yeah.
like to see.
Very
It seemed very odd to me that we
Yeah.
require one but not the other. I feel like they would go together in
Yeah.
that. Either you gotta be a member with the serving administrator application, or you're not a member and no serving administrator
Representing
application.
Their first phase is,
We-
is a guest.
Tell me about-
walks in.
Tell me about Bama. I'm not a member. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Welcome to what?
I think we're all in agreement, membership is required.
Just,
Yep.
I just have a question though. They
Yeah.
can fill the serving in ministry application at any time, right?
Yes.
They can only become a member certain times. We don't provide that opportunity many times. This is something people could get very much involved with the church, but just not have gone through the member.
Well, so membership we can do at any time. It's just we have really two big pushes
Keep your lights on.
around time, like
Not
throughout the
for
year.
long, but-
And then so my team gets a list of like.
I
all
get
the
that, but I'm
candidates.
just saying,
Yeah.
is this not something somebody could step into that was an outgoing person that could chat with people?
Well, I think that
without-
was the original idea when we talked about it, not requiring it, but I think you guys convinced me, but.
No, it's just a
Yeah.
thought. It was just, why it wasn't there. I wondered if that was the case of, you know, people come in and for 6 months, they don't necessarily become a member right
Yeah.
away. Cause you want them to be within it,
Yeah.
but they could be very well knowledgeable to be able to man the welcome.
Man,
desk.
welcome to.
When it comes to membership too, I think there could be just like a grace that if someone's been here for 6 months
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, I'm going to become a member, but I just haven't had a chance. You
You know,
could
once
maybe-
they get into on a list of people to interview, there's
Yeah.
a process.
And this could even just be a way to tell people at the jobs fair, like, hey, if you're not a member, now's a chance to seek membership, and we can take care of that right away.
That'll be Gary's problem.
Okay, so for welcome desk, we're staying with membership and we're staying with serving administrator application.
Yep.
Okay. Along the same veins then, greeter and ushers. Again, we had no membership, but yes to a serving administrator application.
Because again, you're just telling them where to stay, like you're facilitating, right?
Very quick, right?
Yeah.
Like shaking a hand
Yeah.
and saying good
Yeah.
morning.
You're not giving them, the history of the church
Doctoral
or,
programs.
Yeah.
or-
I get it, but then why are we requiring a serving administrator
Yeah.
application?
Yeah.
I feel like they go together in
You're
this
right.
case. We either do both or none.
Yep.
I feel like Benwell has a really amazing community where greeting and helping happens all the time. But if you're a designated greeter and usher, you're kind of like on mission, if you're looking
That's
for
true.
people that look a little
Yeah.
lost, you're looking for
Yeah.
opportunities to help guide people. So it's a slightly higher demand that you're committing to.
yeah, I guess in terms of the description of the role, I undervalue. Like you're not just telling people where to sit, you are.
Would you require membership? Is that what you're trying to say?
I personally would, I'd put it as the same as the welcome desk,
Yeah.
but that's
Same
my
here,
opinion.
that
Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
welcome desk and ushers greeters same,
First people to meet.
they represent the church. The face of
Yeah.
first face of the church for
Gotta
guests.
get those interviews going.
There's
You're
also
right.
some safety
Probably
involved with
help those
ushers.
interviews out.
We've had people that have been like
I
in the
just-
bathroom, like
yeah.
all service long,
Yeah.
and the ushers are the people that have
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of noticed and
Yeah, yeah.
they've kept their eyes out for
Yeah.
hazards.
So greeters and ushers require church membership and a serving administrator application?
Yep.
Are you sorry?
Yeah, I guess they're the face of. Yeah.
Everybody's cool with that?
Mhm.
Okay. Worship team leader, we have church membership required, serving administrator application required, no background check, no plan to protect training.
The only reason, the only reason I would say, give myself some pause on maybe the vulnerable sector check is if they are working with, but it's not common that we have,
It's very not common, yeah.
not with
Yeah.
us, but the problem is like, this is kind of setting the precedent, right?
Yep.
I don't know. Like, it's not happening now, but just like you were saying, just because it's not happening
Yep.
now doesn't mean it's never gonna happen. And there have been all kinds of
I
accusations.
feel like half the incidents I've heard about, is,
Exactly,
the beers after
exactly.
worship practice or
Exactly.
something, yeah.
Exactly.
I'll put out an idea that doesn't affect us, but I was hoping to get our worship team more involved with our youth group in September and maybe have a little bit of live worship. But I think that could fall under the status of being a youth ministry helper.
Yes.
Like you would have to get both, you'd be worship
Yeah.
leader and youth ministry.
Yeah.
And so anything like a vulnerable sector check or plan to protect could happen under that sphere.
Mhm.
And then we could leave the worship leader kind of just like you're up there on Sunday and you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
that stuff. Just some thought.
Yeah, like our definition of a worship team leader is the one that speaks to the microphone.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yeah.
What do we think of the background check? Was that a yay or an A?
I don't know if that's
Plan to protect
necessary.
training.
No, I don't
For
think that.
now.
I feel like it's a little unnecessary.
I agree, it's a little unnecessary, I'm just asking.
I understand the scenario, but yeah.
So like you said,
And
that-
I also
Absolutely.
thought about this with adding some of these, you gotta think of the logistics, because every one we add
Yeah.
has to be tracked,
Mhm.
monitored and all of that. So if you don't think you need it, then I
Yeah.
would, right now.
So worship team leader stays with church membership required, serving administrator application required, no background check, no plan to protect. Worship team member then, we had no membership
Yeah.
required, but a serving administrator application required.
Yeah.
No background check, no plan to protect.
Mhm.
Again, this strikes me as odd that we require someone to have a serving administrator application signed, but
No.
not be a member.
No, so the serving ministry, again, doesn't obligate you to be a member, it's just that you align yourself
Yeah.
with, and then for whatever reason you have.
I know, we've said it's important enough,
But,
that, hey,
okay,
we,
I-
yeah, please, yeah.
I would not, honestly, I came to this church I come from a background that you don't necessarily be, or I was brought up that you don't necessarily become members of
Yeah.
any particular church.
Yeah.
Yet I attend whatever church I go to. I'm not a hopper. I've been here many, many
Yeah, yeah.
years. I did not become a member until I was asked to become the finance chair.
Yeah.
Yet I was more than willing to participate, but it was just, and it wasn't anything that I didn't
Yeah.
support the
Mhm.
church.
Yeah.
And I just find that we're gonna put everybody into a member, which is
Yes.
fine, and
Yeah.
I will back it.
Yeah.
but we're now gonna tie our hands again for some of these things
Yeah.
that we could get volunteers to do that could be really, and as they get more
Well,
engaged with the church,
yeah.
then maybe they see the importance of the membership.
And
I see that. That wasn't something, to be honest, is really still not important to me,
Yeah.
but it was important to me to be able to do.
Yeah, and I look at it too, that we've got about 180 members and 300 people attending.
Yeah,
So if we put membership to everything, we're excluding 120 people that.
So
could
we're gonna
participate
yeah.
in other
You
places.
can tell them that they can go out and do
But we're still
gardening.
gonna ask them to do certain
Yeah.
ministry applications.
Yeah,
Which,
if they're attending regularly, yeah.
For the worship team member, would that potentially include hired musicians as well?
Well, that's potentially, but, even that, I wouldn't really say like then we go on staff or what are you talking about, like a contractor? Or-
Yeah, like if you hired someone to come and play a concert or something, I don't know, or play at an event.
Yeah, I don't think that's not even like, to me, that's just like a contractor. I don't require anything from you per se.
Mhm.
To us, it's also with respect to some of the realities on the ground, because we do have some that are currently serving that are not members, right? And so if we publish this, then I'm kind of forcing their hand.
Can you give us a snapshot right now? Out of all people we see on Sunday morning on a stage, who's not a member?
How many?
Or-
Or
I'm finding my
maybe-
personal negotiating that we're carving this list around existing members, for obvious reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we doing
What do
the
we do?
wrong thing? Is that what you're saying? Are we,
This whole
Playing
thing feels
favorites
like a
or-
movie, if I'm being honest. This feels horrendously.
I just want to
pharisaical and legalistic.
interject for a minute here.
Horrendously,
Like,
sorry.
Pharisaical and legalistic, like it feels, I love codes, I love standards, I read the building code all day long. I know most of our codes inside out, forwards and backwards. There is nothing I love more than arguing, point by point, clause by clause. I love rules, standards and regulations. And part of my faith journey has been learning to not read the Bible like a code book because that's my nature. And this feels like we're imposing a code book onto God's word.
But
This is
again,
what- this is what it feels like. to me.
These are again, just to, my interpretation, this is to give
Yeah.
HR and really like, because we can't have a volunteer fair and be like, well, I don't really know what you need
Yeah.
to serve in this role. It just provides clarity to the chaos,
Yeah.
because right now I just sense that there's a lot of chaos. Even like I said, my own experience in worship teams, like, do we require it? Do we not require it? I mean, in the past, we had people that were like, oh, I'd like to be on the worship team. And like next week they're on the worship team.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like there's not really any
Find out they're
process.
drug users.
Yeah,
or-
exactly.
Exactly, and that has happened.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not even
I get
that. It's like,
Yeah.
it's what is our process? Like you can't have.
I get it, yeah, yeah.
You can't have
So-
clarity.
And
Yeah.
sometimes the serving in ministry is more to understand individuals' gifts and what their desire is to
Yeah.
get connected.
Yeah.
To be able to tap them on the shoulder to say,
Yeah.
And trying to get them more engaged. It's not just the rules beyond it. I think that's more.
Yeah.
A conversation piece to say, okay, these are the kinds of things we've, and everybody here has said, we need more volunteers.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have this where we're gonna go, you'll have to be a member. Well, then
Yeah.
that's, I don't know,
It's like, how many people are gonna say, oh, I'd love to work in the
Well,
nursery. Oh, I have to be a
that's-
member first,
So
or,
there's,
and I have to do this, and I have to
as,
do this.
as I mentioned, there's 60 tasks here, and there's 180 members
Mm.
and 300 people, so you're right, if you just assume someone has to be a member, you're going to exclude a lot of people.
And serving ministry just basically says, you believe what we believe, great, you don't want to be a member?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
like membership is optional. I mean, you could be an adherent and believe what we believe, but for whatever reason. Not.
like I kept being a member of.
Yeah.
This board to make decisions on behalf of the
Yeah,
church.
yeah, yeah.
But they're like, seriously, and I go to a church, I don't hawk. I came here for years. And one of the problems with me is I could come in and could leave and nobody would know that I was here because I'm quiet.
Yeah.
Until, I volunteered, I taught Sunday school. I did that, but I wasn't a member.
Yeah.
I was only a member when they said, would you be a board chair, which was hilarious. Sure.
I remember that, but.
I would empathize with that too. For years, I was like, membership's not biblical, like it's not in there, we shouldn't be forcing it on anybody. I have personally come to the conviction that membership is biblical, and I'm not gonna get into the theological defense right
Sure.
now. But my point in saying that is that everyone's on a journey.
Mhm.
So if someone's on a point in their journey where they're like, I just don't see membership in scripture, then being like, well, you can't participate in our church is a little unfair.
And I-
So I'm empathizing with you. For me, the serving and ministry piece, I think, would be more about protecting the purity and focus of our worship
Mhm.
rather than, are you on the checklist?
But
for
the
that?
serving administrator application is the same thing with the journey.
Mhm,
We say you need to be at here in your journey. And if you're not here yet,
mhm.
no serving for you.
But
it
the
comes
difference
down to
here,
alignment.
if we're doing things like leading worship
Yeah.
and we're like praising God, and it's like you believe false things about God, or you're interacting with our children, then I think those safeguards are like pretty significant to put in place. Whereas membership, for some people, it's like it just is not there, or it's kind of like a check of the box. There's not like a theological component to it in their mind. But some of the things on our serving in ministry are very theological, I think. They affect the very DNA of Banwell.
And again, that's where I'd say it comes down to alignment, right? You align with us, great. You want to be part of this, you want to have the ability to influence, have speaking roles, all these different things, then you need to be a member. That's kind of what we're saying.
And they're not even saying you're not a Christian.
Yeah,
It just might be like this
a representative,
particular
yeah.
local church might not be best for you.
Yeah.
You might be more comfortable somewhere else.
Todd, you want to comment?
Yeah, I think it's mainly along the lines of what Barb was saying, in that we just added church membership as a requirement for the welcome desk and the greeters and ushers. And I'm thinking, no, we should take that off, as also for the hall monitor and the nursery for the little lambs, in the same way that Barb is talking about. Actually, if the serving and ministry application is a gauge of alignment, like Aaron says, then we don't necessarily see membership as the proof of that. People may not be members for a whole variety of other reasons. And I've encountered a bunch of them. People don't choose to become members for a bunch of reasons separate from their alignment with us on all matter of theology and doctrine. So I think to think of church membership as having to come before the serving ministry application, I think is maybe the wrong way around.
Good point.
Except on the welcome desk, if somebody comes to the welcome desk, we're welcoming them to Banville Community Church. And if that person is not a member or does not know something about Banville Community.
Or isn't on their way to becoming.
On the way, whatever, however that turns out, welcoming to the church, I think that person should at least have a knowledge of the church and what's going on. Because you're welcoming, what are we welcoming them to? Banville Community
That is
Church.
true.
That's just a personal thing.
And again, I think in the branding of this, like ultimately these are ideals, not that we'd have to say like, oh, no, you didn't check this box or you didn't check this box. It's again, the ideal. This is what we're requiring. And we've talked about, we've had the hard conversations, we've justified it. And then if there's a special case, then it comes to the board, but not everything needs to be a special case, right? That's kind of what I'm getting.
I don't want to get into a bait and switch with that. We're saying, oh, well, this is just an ideal. It's not a firm thing because we did that with the documents. We said, well, we're not meant to be heavy handed. These are just meant to be an ideal, just meant to throw them out there. And then as soon as they were released, it was everybody or nothing. So I don't want to, yeah.
Like how, can you explain that to me? Like, how are you saying?
Well, this list is the example. Right now, it's what you need, we initially said we didn't want these documents to end up being a heavy-handed coercive thing, but we're here and they kind of are.
I think we bent the rules a little bit too when we said, well, maybe you don't have to sign this, just give us a verbal.
Yeah.
And so we bent the rules there a little bit, if you remember. And so are we making it concrete or are we going to say, make it a verbal type of idea where you're not asking for, we bent the rules before, and does it open up something else?
And my concern is like, so there's bending the rules on, like, let's say, vulnerable sector check. You think, you don't need to worry about it. Next thing you know, there's a situation and now we're in trouble, right? But on the spiritual side too, I think if you bend the rules, you look at the same results. 99% of the time you might be fine. 1% of the time, you kind of wish that you had a process, right?
For this data you're giving us, Dave, about how many people are not members and
Yeah.
versus they are members, do we know anything about their actual circumstances? Like, are they not members because they have like a theological conviction that it's like wrong,
I
or
know,
have they just
like-
not gotten along to it?
Some people, but then like Todd said, people don't become members for a variety of reasons.
Mhm.
Some people don't become members because they think if they become a member, someone's gonna ask them to be on a committee right away.
Or
And
give
they don't,
money.
and they don't wanna, be on committees. Some people just wanna come and go and worship.
Mhm.
Some people don't want to call themselves Baptists.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's true.
seriously, and I.
So,
yeah.
so there's,
Mhm.
so I think people have a variety of reasons. I was just listing that, I think, we're at 300 or more every week of people
Mhm.
attending. And I know based on the quorum of 64, 108, 92 members, or not even 192 members, right?
Mhm.
Probably closer to 180-ish.
Well, and 300 attending, but really 400 or more are actually calling
yeah.
Banwell home, but they're just not
That's-
there every
right.
week like me.
Yeah, so you're excluding on some of these volunteer positions, could be excluding 40 to 50% of the people that attend regularly and are involved in different ministries within the church, but now because they're not a member, we could be excluding them from areas that.
Could I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
And this is a humble suggestion. What if we use the principle that if a role has influence, then serving in ministry is strongly preferred? And church membership, we ease up on, like Todd is suggesting, we remove it where it's not necessary. Because we have so much to get through tonight. I wonder if we just have a principle, we can start slicing through some and say, okay, influence, serving in ministry,
debate.
does it really need membership? No, remove it.
Yeah.
And we can start
Yeah.
knocking some of these out
Good
quickly.
idea.
Reading as ushers, is going retroactive now.
Yeah.
Given
Yeah, looking
this,
at it from a
as
different perspective. yeah.
knowing that they are having hard time recruiting greeters ushers, maybe we can ease off on a membership. They're not going to answer all these
I think the
questions.
serving in ministry application is more important. I think
Yeah.
it should have come first and church membership should have come last.
Just from a
Like
constitution.
serving in
Yeah, you're right.
ministry and then protection for our children.
Mhm.
And then
We can
the
shuffle stuff
background
around,
check
but
and
yeah.
then the church membership. I think in that order.
Like, I
I
guess
don't
they,
think this is an order, it's just,
no, it's
there's
just.
just a list.
Well, it seems like we're stuck on that though. Like,
Oh, yeah,
it's the
no, I
first thing
agree.
we're considering and then the other
Yeah,
things are
well,
all
because when
not
we
as
was
important.
blanked, we said no, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, but there's people, we did the luncheon that we went to, and people come to me, I can't wait to volunteer, and I'm like, okay, good,
Oh,
I take the
awesome.
name, but
Yeah.
then
Well,
it's
so
figuring out what they can do, and
also during the membership interviews, we asked the question of, where do you see yourself potentially volunteering or being part of this, church body, and then we take notes and we pass those on. So, I mean, there's already a process, but the process as it is now is member, then volunteer. Like, if you're looking at the way that we structure right now, it's you apply for membership, then we ask you what you want to do,
Mm,
right? And then we kind of try to fit you in rather than, hey, I'd like to do
Should be the
something.
other way around.
Yeah. What do you got open to? Yeah.
I just think with so many people that are not members, I think we should be sensitive to the specific needs of our people and say, hey, if you found that Banwell is a place that you really like, the serving in ministry is, we're all aligned and you want to serve here, then serve here. And then I get the feeling no one wants to be heavy-handed with membership, so we could be more encouraging, hey, have you considered membership? It's a really great idea. Here's the theology, but never make it like a roadblock to people's.
There
Yeah,
anything
pretty much
constitutionally
So,
that
Mr.
we are
Chairman.
saying here also with the membership, like there's positions here that aren't in the Constitution, I would think that don't require membership, or now we saying do require membership, right?
They do a cross reference.
I don't know, yeah, have we done a cross reference?
I don't think so, but I think most is fairly aware of
Yeah.
what the Constitution.
Yeah.
I can pull it up if
Yeah.
there's any question. but-
Yeah,
So, Mr. Chairman, can I suggest we go back then and remove the membership off of ushers and welcome center?
Sure.
Or at least ushers. Welcome center, we're not agreed on.
Well,
Thank you.
welcome centers, you don't have to know everything about the
No.
church, because whoever might be there doesn't necessarily know everything. Where do the kids go? Where do the teenagers go? Where do adult
And I don't
Like
think
direct
they'd-
seniors go?
person.
Where's, all those things are open to
I don't think they'd want to do it unless they had a fairly healthy
relationships.
knowledge
with it, yeah.
of what was going on and, the serving in ministry I can see, but I don't think the membership should be
Yeah.
100% numerated.
Wait, did we circle back to welcome desk?
Now I'm like questioning all of them.
Well,
You take that comment.
But I know
out.
your team have already made it.
Again, this is why we set aside the time, right?
Yeah.
To have these hard conversations and to figure out what we want to do, to give us direction.
It's almost
Okay.
up. It's not.
How many
Easy.
people do we have in our welcome desk?
Like 3 people there.
I was gonna say 2 or 3 that I've seen there.
I don't know if they're on that.
Here's an
I really don't know.
God.
All right, so what do we think? Are we doing membership or welcome desk or not?
No,
No. How did we have a conversation?
Are we doing membership for greeters and ushers or no?
No,
no,
And are we doing membership for worship team leader?
Yes.
yes,
Yes. Membership for worship team member?
no,
Serving in ministry for welcome desk?
well, no, that's not the welcome desk. Worship opener, is that the one you're at?
Welcome.
Oh, sorry, I was just
going back up for.
Oh,
sure.
I'm sorry. Going back up to where we left off, yeah.
Oh,
Do we need serving in ministry for welcome desk?
Like, to me,
I
they're
would say
just,
yes.
yeah,
yeah,
I think
yes,
so.
We need serving in ministry for greeters and ushers.
I consider it to be a ministry, but
I would say yes to
yeah.
it, especially with the safety elements of the usher.
Serving in ministry for worship team leader.
yes,
Serving in ministry for worship team member.
Even now I'm having issues of, people that maybe aren't living the way they should be, and
They've signed or they have not signed a serving in ministry
and they've
application?
signed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had that
Can't
problem with the kids as well.
Ask me this issue.
sure.
I think I'm gonna resign.
We need to talk to you about that here.
It's too late, Gary.
No, my belief is anybody that's representing our church is that there should be a member. Because you're representing Faneuil Community Church, you're representing the Lord. And I think that's important for the community. And
I would disagree, Gary.
Okay, fine.
I
You can
think-
disagree.
I think some of us agree with you. I personally agree with you, but the question of should they do it and must they do it is a different question.
Okay, yeah.
and in my mind, now I'm kind of one thing in front and a stage, and it's different. Like in my own mind, I'm clarifying this, okay, in the
Yeah.
foyer, it's different, okay, you're not in front of the church. You're
But
not-
somebody is leading us in worship.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if anything,
Yeah.
you would want that person to be
Yeah.
a member.
Yeah.
We
Want
want them to become members and we
Right.
strive for them to
Yes.
come in. But I
Not
don't think we
necessarily,
should say,
Mhm.
you can't
classified.
help us here unless you are one, because we're not gonna get them.
Absolutely.
It'll scare them away.
Hold
and
on, are we
you
making
know,
decisions based on practicality or are we making decisions based on scripture?
oh, boy.
I wouldn't say it's either. I would say it's a
This is
honest
scripture?
understanding of the variety of reasons people choose not to become members. Some of them are intensely committed to Banwell, but they have reasons of their own for not becoming members. And it might not have to do anything with Banwell's theology.
The conversation was helpful, like I kind of was strict about them, but now that
Yeah,
greeters,
exactly.
ushers, welcome, okay, that's fine.
I guess if we all prove that we're all part of the body of God,
And we're
we
not
don't have to be the
perfect.
body of the church, of Banwell Church. And we've clarified that, or,
Yeah.
you know, that somebody has said that, we all say there's all parts, every part
But-
can provide a function within the body,
Yeah.
not necessarily just Banwell Church, so. I don't know.
And look, as Protestants, as Baptists, we believe like in the universal church too, right? It's not like you're only saved at Balen Community Church, that just to serve here. We want you to kind of state your name, right? But then the other piece, like I said, I think is just alignment. I see one as commitment and the other one is alignment.
Mhm.
That's a really good way to phrase it. Those 2 words.
Okay, sound technician, you need to, we have no member, yes to serving a ministry application, no background check, no plan to protect.
Yeah,
We only need serving a
Good.
ministry application for a sound technician.
So I would not like to lose some of the young people there because they didn't sign the.
well,
ministry.
but I'm thinking someone more like, John Reynolds, right? He's currently serving in that capacity, right? And I know he's not a member, and I don't know if he's filled up the form.
No, I don't think he will sign,
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think he aligns with us,
no.
right?
we are using him less.
Yes.
Maybe
But
for a
I'm
similar
saying-
reason or not, doesn't matter,
Yeah.
but
I'm just saying, I
I-
don't know if he aligns with us.
I don't,
Yeah.
like being in, on a soundboard, I honestly don't think that those young men I'm using that I have a personal issue that if they did not sign.
Yeah.
They do what I asked them to do and they do it. And now we are coming back to this, like, here, it's nice to encourage them,
Mhm.
but this is the first step they're
Yeah.
getting involved.
Well,
And
you never know what they're picking up,
yeah,
you
and
know, while they're there, little seeds could be.
yeah,
being planted.
and
You never know.
you were faithful in little and well,
But-
that's how we.
You also need to be careful in terms of who you have in what roles. Like I remember when I first came here and I was asked to join the worship team. And then like I'm hearing a former guitarist dropping F-bombs. I'm like, what is going on? Right? Like it was off-putting. Right? And I'm like, this is like these are the people that are leading the church. Right? So and this was me as I remember myself as a young person thinking these things. So like I don't want to be very black and white, but I also want to kind of lean on my lived experience of like it is important that the people that you have in these positions, like they do shape what young people become, right? So all that to say, like,
Back to sound technician.
was that?
So back to sound technician.
Yeah, I'm saying all that to say on the sound technician piece, like, I don't think it's important, but we should encourage it, right?
Now, okay, encourage them. Now, if we put this through, do I have to go to all of them and ask them to provide?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think right now we're saying on sound technician, no and no, right? But we don't require anything.
Exactly.
Right now, we have required.
It requires, so we have to.
It's orange here.
Removing that?
Yeah.
I mean, that we're trying to remove it or? we're
No,
trying to add it?
it was a change from.
Recently added.
Recently added.
Yeah. Like the black dots, I think are Pastor Steve's document.
From original.
Is
And
that-
I made changes and.
Yeah, Sunny Red is
Yeah.
what we've.
Is there an age requirement? Because don't you have some that are under 18?
Oh, yeah.
Serving
they-
is-
Sorry, yeah, back to
And
sound
then-
technician, we're still remaining no membership
yeah.
and serving minister application. What do we think? Yes or no?
I would like that removed, personally.
All of them, sound, camera and projection.
We'll go through them one at a time.
Mhm.
We don't get mixed up.
Under your recommendation, I'd have to go along with that.
Like, okay, I mean, we are a board of directors here.
Yeah.
What do we do with John? He didn't sign.
Yeah.
So what do I do now?
Can we ask him to sign?
Well, like,
He's not
you know, he's not going to sign. We
And
all
he
know
wouldn't
that.
ignore
We
it.
did.
He did.
And,
He
and
did.
we also, the board made a decision to accept a verbal, which he will do,
Yeah.
but he will not.
Yeah.
Put John.
Oh, this.
And that goes back to what
So-
Joel is doing,
John
like
Renaud.
saying, are we
Yeah.
going to now?
Yeah.
We're opening.
Not in our church.
Hmm.
The other John, the John who's.
No,
on our-
that, yeah,
Yeah.
John, good one.
Is it helping with our worship service or just helping in the building in general?
He
This
does,
is,
yeah, he does Sunday. I've seen him behind the board some Sunday mornings, right? Doing like some general
Who's that?
setup and to John Reynolds.
Well, you
Oh, John
voted
Reynolds,
him on to the HR committee.
John
Oh, John Goodwin.
Goodwin,
No.
yes.
So what do we think? Does a sound technician require a serving ministry application?
It's not.
Jonathan thinks no.
No,
I think
I'm
no.
okay.
No.
No.
Everybody okay to remove?
Yeah.
Camera technician had the same requirements. No membership, but yes to a serving and ministry application. No plan to protect and no background check.
no serving.
Again, does a camera technician need a serving and ministry application?
no.
Are we okay to remove that?
Mhm.
Projection and live stream technician, same requirements, no membership, serving and ministry application is a yes, no background check, no plan to protect.
Remove.
Remove, yeah. How does everybody feel about remove? Christian growth.
So I did want to
Sorry, yeah,
add,
please.
for baptism, the person that drains the pool. I don't know what.
Is that under pastoral care and
It
worship?
is, yeah. I found out.
Is
only
that
'cause of-
part of baptism coordinator?
I would keep that as
Or-
the baptism coordinator.
But
Nick
I'm
Decker-
saying, it's
yeah.
a role that needs to be filled, and Dan Decker does it now, and he's told me he no longer wants to do it. So I have
He
to
didn't
find.
do it.
What's that?
He didn't do it last time.
No,
Yeah, I don't know.
Jim Wheeler
Chantel did.
Chantel did?
and Jim.
And Jim Wheeler.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is, and I don't want to be relying on them per se, if it's an actual role that we're looking to fill and advertise, I need to have
Yeah.
it on the list, right? So.
But like, we have baptism coordinator, so why are we creating another?
But the baptism coordinator helps the day of the baptism, and the tank needs to be filled either a day or two in
In
advance
advance.
and heated.
And there's a whole
More of
process.
a mechanical.
But
fit.
it shouldn't be a
Tank mechanic.
coordinator to coordinate and find a volunteer to do it, like, why are
That can be
we?
hard to find.
But it is a lot.
Yeah,
like,
no,
it-
it's,
it's a
it's
technical
its own role. We
process,
should, we should make this as complete as possible.
Yeah,
What do we
People
what do
don't
we
think
think
they
they
do.
need? Do they need to be a member to fill the
No.
baptism
Yeah.
tank?
That's what I'm saying, I don't think you need it.
but
Do they need to be, have a
Nothing.
serving ministry application?
no.
No background check, no police clearance. So baptism tank mechanic does not need, it just needs
They
no
need
requirements.
Is there a
Operator-
reason why
operator-
Chantel can't just do it?
operator?
Well, exactly, she does typically.
I
Well,
feel like
well,
it's convenient
yeah.
for her to just turn the
She
water
has,
on
yeah.
and then turn it off.
Yeah.
And turn the heater on.
Like I said, Nick told me that was a role that so he just wanted to make sure that it was reflected.
Oh,
on him.
is he still gonna continue on with it?
No, he's saying.
Oh,
he needs
okay,
to be
so-
Replaced, so I need to find someone to replace him. or
Chantel
Terry does
typically,
now, but
yeah, Chantel would typically step in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, is it a role that we're looking for a volunteer to fill, or are we looking to add it to Chantel's deck of responsibilities?
The problem with giving it a role, especially if it has basically no requirements, is you need to be able to get into the church
Yeah.
a day in advance when potentially nobody's here.
Yeah.
So it's either gotta be Chantel or it's gotta be me or Steve.
Yeah.
Or Barb or someone with a
Lots of
key.
at this point, yeah.
I feel like giving it a role is
Yeah.
probably. not-
Personally, I would streamline it. You have a coordinator and coordinator
Good.
coordinates everything that needs to be done with baptism.
Yeah, just the coordinator, we're asking for them to be a member and, sign the serving ministry application, which I agree with. But the baptismal tank operator doesn't need it.
So let the coordinator find
Find
somebody to
somebody.
drain the thing, end of story.
This is job.
No, I think we're good to have it as its own line item here. Let's, is there any more discussion on the baptism tank operator? All right, so under the Christian Growth and Nurture Committee, we have the hall monitor check-in. We have all requirements for that. We have a membership, we have a serving ministry application. We have a background check and a police clearance. I'm sorry, background check and a plan to protect training, plan to protect training. How's everybody feel about all those?
So on the hall monitor, I think we kicked around this idea of, do we really require membership? to
Yeah, I don't.
Monitor the hall. We definitely want you to be.
Plan to-
I think you have to keep it with plan to protect because the role that they do in plan to protect is that if someone has to step out of a room, then the hall monitor can just step in and be a fully functional, complete.
You know, they're asking about.
Membership, I know
membership.
membership.
Do they require
Well-
this.
For like, I guess, I'm looking at, you have the orange dots there, but if nursery, children's ministry and youth ministry requires everything, then the hall monitor definitely would require.
But that's the question, do we require people
They're
that,
not teaching.
See- yeah, they're not teaching, right?
Again, if you put a restriction on a volunteer,
Yeah.
that's
If you don't
trying
have
to help
influence,
out.
Right, the question, if you use your test of influence.
Would they
Mhm.
necessarily have to be members to teach the
That's-
children if they had a serving in ministry and a background check?
I
I
feel like,
wondered that too.
I feel like no, because I wanna know that you're in alignment.
People
Yeah.
started
Yeah,
by,
Kids ministry.
I want to help take care of the kids, and then ended up becoming members of a church. Especially women, right? It's like, oh, I started in nursery and then I sang some songs and then I decided to, I don't think that we should expect them to be members. Because if they sign the serving in ministry, if they've been cleared as not being a criminal, I think they'll become a member soon enough. That's my opinion. And that's what we want, right? Come work with us. Oh, and be a member too, because that's what we really would like, and they will. But if we give them too many stipulations and prerequisites, I don't think I would stick around for too long.
I do agree with you,
Personally.
Cheryl, for all of those points, except for the check-in. If you're using the computer and you have everybody's personal information,
Okay, that's good.
is that a little bit higher privacy situation? we have someone that's
Because you have-
not a
That's for the
member of
background check.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
so like. you
Maybe
have
they
influence,
need
that's
a
the
higher
question,
level
right?
background check then maybe?
Well, not even that, just if you're doing check-in, you have access to everybody's email, phone numbers, the age of their children, the allergies of their children, the medication of their children. That's like a lot of confidential information for just some random person. And I know that's a little degrading. I don't mean it that way, because that could be someone that's been here for 30 years, but you're not a member of our church and you have access to that.
Maybe
It's
in
a
that
little bit-
case, maybe in that
But
case.
aren't your 3 students gonna be doing check-in?
Well, they're not going to be church members, I guess you're right, but
Yeah.
they're going to have the other 3.
Yeah, that's why.
But they do have a requirement to attend church during the 8 weeks that they're here. So they're almost like mini members until their tenure ends, and then like they have to come.
Yeah.
They have to be a member of the community
Yeah.
while they're working here.
Yeah.
So in some ways, it's maybe that sounds like a loophole, but they are kind of members of the church
And
for
the
8
pro-
weeks.
Do the program shows all of that for every person, every child that's in there?
I don't
And
know.
then cannot.
Aaron would know more than I do about all the details. And
Before we get
perhaps
too
Krista.
far off track, what do we think for hall monitor? They need to be a member.
Yeah, probably they should be a member.
Well, yeah, what I'm arguing is for check-in, that person, do they need to be a
So
member?
the hall monitor and check-in are the same role right now. They need to be 2 separate roles.
They need to be, because they used to be together.
They used to be together, yeah.
Yeah, they could be separate.
We're splitting these roles.
So, because like historically, I remember I would do check-in
Yeah,
and then,
and then
and then
hall.
roam
Yeah,
the
yeah,
halls. And
They change.
now we just have the check-ins.
Right.
The hall monitor right now, isn't that? Heather,
Pretty much, yeah.
right?
But I
That's what I
think it'd be
understand.
good to have all monitors again,
Yeah.
in addition, because she can't be everywhere.
Yeah.
And sometimes she teaches, so
We should,
I
we
think
should
if
split
we
a separate
split
role
it.
because it's not enough,
Doesn't
serving
hurt.
our rushers are
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
performing that role. It should
Yeah.
be identified as a
So
separate role.
let's
Yeah.
make a separate role then.
Yeah.
So let's start with hall monitor. Does a hall monitor need to be a member?
Mm,
I'd say no.
Does a hall monitor need to have a serving ministry application?
Okay, again, do we care if they're in
Just threw it out there.
spiritual alignment with us? Not to be the hall monitor.
I think we
Yeah, I'd
actually
love to
could say
care
yes,
first, yeah,
because I'm thinking that hall monitors can be close to, kids helping
Jump
kids
in
go
the
to the
classroom.
bathroom and all that kind of stuff.
That's all part of plan to protect.
Plan to protect is the physical safety of that component, but I think the serving in ministry would be like the spiritual and alignment component of you are a safe figure for children to go to and be protected by.
Okay, so everything except membership then. Serving in ministry, background check and plan to protect.
That's what that's my opinion.
I don't know, I feel, I don't know, I feel like that's an example of something where I don't want to be too black and white with it, like,
And you're
Yeah.
right. I know that we end up getting like, an 18-year-old
yeah,
that gets thrown into the position too.
yeah,
And so it's like, well, maybe you haven't gone through the process yet. I don't know.
yeah. I also want to like have a lot of opportunities for people that don't feel for whatever reason, they don't want to sign, that they can serve. Right,
Actually, washrooms would probably be taken care of by the teacher of the classroom that the child was
For
in.
the
that
younger kids,
Yeah.
but for the older class, they are able to be sent in pairs.
policy.
Yeah, we
In
can't.
pairs?
leave.
And so the hall monitor would be like the point
Keeping
person,
an eye out.
especially in an emergency, the kids would be going to that hall monitor for help. Now, when I think of someone like Josiah, then I'm like, perfect, they can do it. But if it's someone that's maybe a little bit not as familiar with the system or the protocols, then I would be a little more concerned. So I'm trying to raise the bar, but I agree with Aaron. Let's have a high bar without maybe overdoing it. So
yeah.
I'm just
Like, I do think that the plan to protect will typically cover any concerns that I have. Whether or not they're in spiritual alignment with me. Again, they have such little interaction with my kids. I think their influence is very little, and again, using it the influence test, like,
Mhm.
I don't see it. That's just my personal opinion.
I know, it's the same.
Okay. So no,
So-
yes.
So hall monitor does not need a serving administrator application.
Yeah.
No,
No membership, no serving administrator application.
yeah.
They do need a background check, vulnerable sector only.
Yeah.
Okay, they do need a background check, vulnerable sector only, and they do need a plan to protect training.
Mhm.
Spectacular. Children's check-in. Do they need church membership?
So we've also been kicking around the idea of making this position like where you manually
Right,
pick your
yeah, yeah.
children. And so this person is actually kind of like the welcome, we almost said like they kind of be one and the same.
Or
the
a
welcome
new
desk.
family liaison?
Yeah, static liaison. So we could call children's check-in, or we could, I like liaison, welcome check-in / liaison.
So they wouldn't need a church membership then? If it's the same as the welcome desk?
Right, that's kind of what I'm saying, is
Yeah.
I don't think that they need.
But
church
didn't we just have
membership.
this conversation that they have access to a lot of information?
But again, if they're,
That's part of the
that's part of the
background check.
background check, like. We're
Oh, yeah.
assuming that the background check
Such as-
shows if,
yeah.
you know, you're gonna be nefarious with the information that's provided to you, right?
I think the training should emphasize that you're helping people register their information, but there's not any reason that you would be going in to
Yes,
access it at any other time.
yeah,
And if that's clear, then I think, yeah, we can
That would
remove.
be okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
oh, no, yes,
So children's check-in liaison is no to church membership, no to serving a ministry application, yes to a background check, yes to a plan to protect training.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody's okay with that?
Mhm.
Next we have the children's, I'm guessing these are education positions. Do we need to delineate between the leaders and the helpers? I added
I
lines
would.
under each one of these so that we had requirements for a leader and separate requirements for
Something
helper.
we don't-
Is that something we
Yeah.
need,
I-
or are
I
they gonna
think
be?
I would,
I
I
think
would
we should.
separate them.
I think we should separate them.
so under nursery little lambs leader, nursery little lambs helper.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So for nursery little lambs leader, we have needs to be a member, needs to have a serving ministry application, needs to have a background check, and needs to have a plan to protect.
Updated, yeah.
Everybody copacetic with that? Okay. What about a helper then? Does a helper need all the requirements? Or is there more flexibility on the helper?
I think there should be more flexibility, but so can you go back to the other one,
sorry.
is it all of them?
The leader was all of them, yes.
I say leaders are all of them on all the,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah, yeah.
levels, age levels.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
I'm trying to keep up, thank you.
But I would like to get I love this conversation because it's just, I like those. I align my own thinking to everybody else's. What's your thinking about serving in ministry application for a helper? Is it a must?
Obviously, I think it should be a no, but we don't know my opinion on the matter.
What did you say, Joe?
I said, obviously, I think it should be a no. We don't know my opinion.
Well, I do too, because if you're a helper, you're gonna be
You're
helping
under-
that
pardon me?
person who
You're under-
really is
You're under something.
knowing
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they're doing with all their requirements. You're helping them,
It's the same.
they're gonna be helping them the way they
Yeah.
want you to help them.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can't really see them going too much
It is
astray.
a place,
For the youth
for a lot of people, isn't introductory. Your kids are in there and you end up helping out because they're
All of
somebody
us,
and they're short. Yeah.
you've gotta be a member.
that?
and
Sorry,
I,
Pastor.
I agree, I don't think the helpers have.
No, because we had 12-year-old, 13-year-olds helping out in the little labs for a while, so.
Like.
I think for the youth group,
Protect.
as an exception, I would like to see 3 serving in ministry, background check, plan to protect. Just because we have small groups and discussions,
Sorry,
and
sorry, back up a little bit. I didn't hear what.
that'd be for the youth group helper.
Gotcha.
I'd like to see the 3 because of our small group context. There's lots of discussion.
I'm gonna pause it and if we can, we'll just work line by line and then we'll.
Yeah.
Thank you,
keep
Joel.
that in mind. No, thank you, that's perfect. So I'm sorry, for nursery little lambs, we had all 4 for leader. For helper, we only had background check and plan to protect training.
Great.
Is
Okay.
everybody okay with
Yeah,
that?
okay
How
with
does
that?
that work if
They
they're like
leader.
16 or 15?
They don't have to sign it.
They don't have
That's
to
what I
sign it.
was told.
Okay. I see.
When we say leader, just to clarify, that's teacher. Right, like, we're not
Yeah,
talking about the finance.
Teacher
Okay.
versus help. I'm sorry, I put leader, but yes, you're
Yeah,
a
I just
teacher,
wanted to
teacher
be
would be,
clear.
so.
That's
Okay.
well, yeah.
All right,
And
I will put teacher though, just
Yeah.
to keep the language consistent, teacher
Right.
helper.
but
so we have children's ministry, that's grade, senior kindergarten to 5. The leader requires all 4, requires membership, requires serving in ministry, requires a background check, and requires a plan to protect training. That is children's ministry leader. Makes sense to everybody?
Teacher, I've got here, but yeah.
Teacher, I'm sorry,
all
teacher, yeah.
4, yeah.
And then for children's ministry helper, we do no membership, no serving in ministry, But yes to background check and yes to plan to protect, right?
Can,
Okay, yes.
can I make a
Sorry,
comment
please, yeah.
about the serving and ministry for the helpers?
Yeah.
It may not be, like you say, they're helping to start with, but that may be kind of you get that, you now have the step to try to get them into being a teacher, because we lack in that a lot.
Yeah.
So having them do it,
Yeah.
have them try it out as a helper.
Yeah.
But we've got them already in the process.
Yeah.
So that if things are starting to go smoothly, you can pull them into teaching versus, okay, now we got to get you to sign this and
Yeah.
work through this.
Yes.
So it gives an opportunity for the chair of Christian Growth and Nurture and Heather to take a peek at them.
Yeah.
And have that in place. So we've got more moving through the process to be able to have teachers.
And
So-
sometimes they do take on leadership roles depending on how the lesson's going. They
Right.
may step up and like start talking or sharing their own experiences, and like it's very organic, so it's not like
So it's just it's
Yeah.
more of a, it's not a
because
regimented
they're gonna
thing.
move over.
Right.
Anyways, they might do it one week
Right.
and just to fill in, and
So
Yeah,
it's just to
I
have
think
that knowledge so that they're
Yeah.
ready and
yeah.
so I think as opposed to let them be a lead, we
And then you're
want them
like,
to be
oh,
leaders.
Yes, eventually, yeah.
So I would say leave it in, leave the serving in ministry. I'm just not necessarily the membership, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, and we're talking about now
helper.
children's ministry, the
Children's
children's ministry helper?
Yeah.
Okay.
the helper,
Yes, everyone else thoughts on the matter, yeah.
Don't,
because some people don't want to start out as the teacher. They want to be
Mhm.
the helper till they feel comfortable. Same thing with VBS is going to come up. They don't want to be the leader part,
Right,
but
yeah.
since they get more knowledge, they're in more experience and more connection with others in the church.
Sorry, I got confused.
Well, that's what Barbara's proposing right now,
Yeah.
yeah.
Teachers. Both,
Teachers and leaders have all.
all, and then helpers have no membership.
No
And they
membership, no
said no
serving,
survey.
just police clearance and plant.
And I thought we were going to say serving in the helpers.
We're suggesting serving in ministry for children's
children.
ministry helpers.
Yeah, that's why.
You end up running things. So
Same with
ask
the
them
youth
to come
ministry.
up and.
but to
run
me, like
through
at the
it.
nursery level, like they're not.
Yeah,
like,
nursery.
doctrine, they're not,
Yeah.
alignment isn't as important to me as they age.
Right.
These are people who are still growing as well.
Yes.
In often cases.
No, it's the ones that like grade 1 and on, or
Yeah.
grade SK and on.
Yeah.
The helpers, I think, should still fill that out, just so that the folks that are kind of the leaders and leaders above leaders have an idea who they've got in the room to try to pull them into being a leader at some point, because your teachers are usually the toughest ones to get, are they not?
Yeah.
But I'm afraid.
Do we have an abundance of helpers?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Do we really?
Yeah,
Okay.
we actually do. I like,
It's the teachers that are having issues with.
yeah, because you gotta prepare
Well, that's.
and
yeah,
run more, yeah.
Yeah. More work to do. It's just a thought, rather
Yeah,
than,
no.
okay, wait a minute, now we have to
Thinking
get you
that,
to do
'cause
that.
They do help.
Okay, so then on youth ministry, so did we?
So I'm sorry, so what do we, so children ministry, everybody's on this children's ministry helper, everybody said no to church membership. Where did we land on the serving and ministry application? Is that a hard requirement?
I think for helpers, they should,
Good or must?
should, well, that's up to everyone agreeing, but.
But as we said, this is often the first step of serving in this church, and I would like to encourage people to get.
Well,
involved.
I think
well,
with
this-
children's ministry, you could have like a 16 or 17-year-old that is in my youth group. That's like, I also want to serve, and they go to Kingdom Kids and help. So I think to make room for that kind of person.
These are VBS helpers too then, right?
Yeah, these are probably in the VBS.
Yeah.
So
realm.
this, like a VBS helper would fall into this category?
Yeah, like we're getting 14-year-olds at this point, so I feel like
I
the
feel like we need to
criteria-
leave
And
that
I'm
open and
talking
flexible and leave it with a no.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah, like,
I'm not talking teenagers, I'm
Yeah,
talking
Yeah,
adults.
because I think it excluded, especially
I
helpers
think-
could exclude people just.
Yeah.
But serving ministry, like said, if the test there is just alignment and we're seeing from them, like
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying that they're coming in, they're helping, we see potential and then we see that they are in alignment. Don't think that they'll have an issue serving, like signing the form and coming into alignment with us. Then I don't know that whether that needs to be a requirement. That's the question. It's like, this is the test that require, what are we requiring?
But I like how it also requires them to be at the church for 6 months. Like if like you don't want to start putting some on the schedule and then
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, they just pop out and pop in. And it's
Yeah.
like you've seen their commitment, you've got to know
Yeah.
them, like
Yeah.
you can work with our kids now. Like I think there's other aspects. you're committed and
I
yeah,
forgot
we
about
know
that
you.
6-month part.
Right, which
Yeah,
I think
'cause-
is good.
And
Then
then
you
you,
put them on a schedule for 6 months and then you're like, what?
yeah,
There's
you
just-
pretty much got. to
You know them
on that,
too, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it more like a talking, to me, it's a talk, I know there's issues with.
I haven't
certain
had
parts of it,
anybody not sign
But
it.
just an opportunity to have more of an in-depth
Yeah.
conversation
Yeah,
prior to the membership part.
right, that's what I.
So
too.
they're already talking in things that they want to be involved in, but
Mhm.
So what do we think on serving an ministry application for children's ministry help?
Go around and ask everybody.
Please stand and state your name.
Okay, and, I mean, are we just trying to get rid of the requirements? Are we trying to reduce that? Is that why?
Well,
Like,
I'm
because then I would
asking.
reduce it
Trying to
for,
encourage them to get involved.
okay,
That's
then I would
my
take it
personal-
off for home monitor then, serving ministry. Like, I'm just saying, if I'm gonna
We
pull
did
it
take it
off,
off.
I'm
We did
gonna
take
pull
it
it
off.
off.
We did
Oh,
take it
we
off.
did, okay, I have the old version. I'm just saying, if I'm gonna take it off, I would take it off other places.
I would like to have more of these opportunities for people that
Yeah.
are in that position or not necessarily ready to sign all that, or they're too young to sign. I'm just thinking of my
They can-
Jacob, he's 11.
He
In
won't
few
know what he's
years,
signing, yeah,
he's going to, but he's nowhere near ready to sign, you know, like he's
They're
11,
allowed,
but
though.
acting like 9, you know.
Yeah,
Did you
He's-
say that
They
they
don't
don't sign it if they're
I
under
asked
18?
Steve about it and I was like, what do
I
we
think
do
she-
with these
she
ones?
did
Cause
say
I have
that.
to track a lot of them. I did
Mhm.
at one point and he's like, no. they're-
We
So then
need-
that eliminated
sorry.
me. Yeah.
Nope. Do we need to put serving a ministry application or application to a vote for children's ministry helper? Consensus?
Put the vote.
Yeah,
Put a vote, majority of roles.
Or,
Only those who can
Yeah.
vote can vote.
But you need do you need to say for people, because they say you could have a 14-year-old helping out, so we're gonna make a 14-year-old sign this, or are we
No.
gonna put an age limit on?
Now that I've heard that, it does affect my thoughts on it. If anyone 18, under 18 can just serve, then the serving ministry doesn't affect them. In which case, anyone 18 and over, I would like to see, except for nursery and little lambs, I'm talking children's ministry and youth group. I would love to see them sign serving in ministry because it doesn't matter if you're not a teacher, you are influencing those
Oh,
children,
18
you're a
and over, yeah.
mentor to them.
But that's what I'm saying, I almost gotta step it up, so like the nursery, we don't really
Yeah.
care. Children's ministry, maybe you require it, maybe, but then for youth ministry, I think it's a yes.
Well, for youth
Yeah.
ministry, for
Yeah.
sure, it's a yes, but for
Yeah.
children's ministry, if it's 18 plus, I think it's probably a yes. Because what you're saying, Darko, is you'd love to see your kids get
I would
involved,
like to see my.
but the
kids
serving
get
in ministry doesn't affect them at all. So I think we
Till
should have,
18, then that's fair, yeah.
well, at that point, they might have 3 or
Yeah,
4 years
yeah.
of service under their belt and they might say, oh, I'm ready to sign it and teach.
I don't know if you realize how many times, new families and new parents jump in very quickly into a serving, into a volunteer and assisting and
Mhm.
helper and serving role. And it's been a very fruitful path for many people,
Mhm.
but I'm cautious of how many roadblocks you want to put on them.
Yeah, that's,
I would like to see youth group ministry where you start requiring serving ministry application.
Yeah,
That's my
Youth group
first-
helper makes sense because
Yeah.
the
You're
goal of
mentoring.
youth is to engage in.
you have more dialogue.
There we go. Page 2.
So is it no then? Is everybody okay with no?
I'm okay with.
I'm
yeah.
not, but
I-
that's fine.
I think it's
I'll
easy.
just do it undercover.
That's
I'm
fine.
just
I-
like, maybe I'll end up
Yeah,
being like, I'd really like you to sign this. I'll just do that. That's
I don't
fine.
think we need to get to
Like-
vote, I think everyone's come around to the no.
Covertly.
Thank you for the compromise. Those are making compromise. There's been a lot of that tonight and there will be a lot of that tonight. Okay, youth ministry leader, I'm assuming we're requiring all 4.
Do you call them teachers or leaders? Cause
I call them leaders.
Teacher.
no, but I think it is important, the language that we use.
I call them leaders because I'm the teacher at youth group,
Yes,
unless I'm away.
so that's, so there's not helper,
Oh.
Right.
it's teacher and leader.
I see, right.
And that's fine. They're youth, they're different. Now it's different levels.
Yeah.
There's me and then there's Candace, who's like the de facto female leader.
Yeah.
Other than I'm the male leader.
Sometimes teaching.
And then I would like to get more leaders that are not de facto leaders like Candace, you know.
But the question is, does there need to be a role for a teacher because you're on staff, right?
Yeah, there
But I'm
does need
saying,
to be
will
a
there ever
teacher.
be a scenario where we have a teacher that's not on staff.
Well, the leader would be one of my first go-tos if I'm gonna be away. They're like,
Yes.
hey, you think you could cover this week? So they would be needing to be able to
Yeah.
teach. Whereas if I'd have a helper, that would be like, okay, you're here, you're trying to invest in people, but you're not expected to teach under any circumstances.
So do I need 2 roles?
So I think 2 roles would still be good. So there's me, and then
Yeah.
there's the leader,
Okay.
and then there's
Yeah.
the helper.
I think it's good.
Well,
to
do we
split
need
it
a
up.
role for you though? Because you were covered under
Well,
pastoral.
that's what I'm
style.
asking.
So you
I'm
don't
thinking the
need
youth
me.
ministry has a pastoral position as well as a leader, as well as a helper. So you would never qualify as a leader. You'd be you'd be in a pastoral role.
What I meant is
Yeah.
functionally, it's me, the leader, and then helpers.
Okay.
Yeah.
For this document, it's leader and helper, because we're trying to
Okay.
find volunteers.
Leader and helper. Well, I will keep lines and split them as leader and helper.
And the youth ministry leader requires all 4, requires a membership, requires a serving a
Yep.
ministry application, requires a background check and plan to protect training,
And the youth ministry helper
And the
does
youth
not
ministry
require
helper
membership.
requires not
requirements.
membership and requires everything else, requires serving a ministry, requires background check and requires plan to protect training.
That's the helper needs to have everything except for membership.
And didn't we say that we have a leader and a helper?
That's what he
Yeah,
said.
so the leader
Okay.
requires everything and the helper requires everything except for membership.
Yeah.
Because even the helpers are in mentorship roles and influencing roles.
Do we have 3 or 2? We have teacher.
Yeah, but we
We
took teacher
have,
out.
yeah, we
Oh, we
took-
took this, so
we took
teacher is
teacher out,
the
he's
leader.
filling a
in this
pastoral
case.
role
Okay,
in
I'm
that
sorry.
case, yes.
So there are 2 only.
Okay. Everybody in agreement for youth ministry? I'm not gonna butcher these 2
Yeah.
terms. There are 2 youth ministry.
Leader and helper.
Leader and helper, spectacular. Small group leadership, we're requiring membership and requiring a serving and ministry application.
I agree with that.
Any comments on that? What?
Young adults. ministry.
I know about.
Version of
Shoot.
That was fine. Do we want to jump back then on that?
Yes, because that's where it should go.
Are we also doing leader and helper on young adults?
Does young adults need helpers?
Young adults, I guess like the leader and the helper would be the same thing. They just need to be a wise mentor, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's put serving in ministry, plan to, or do you need plan to protect? Because they're all technically adults.
Yeah,
Are they
not-
sometimes 17?
No, they're not, they're not
Always
18,
18.
17.
Oh.
So I guess it would just be serving in ministry for young adults.
Yeah.
So, and we're with generic young adults leader.
Yeah.
No helper.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like, I know, Jay and Carrie help around, but they're
Yeah.
actually leaders.
They're
right?
actually leaders, yeah. And in theory, any of the young adults could just be like, I want to have more contribution to the night. It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah.
You're a member of the team now.
Wonderful.
Okay, so that brings us to small group leadership, right?
Yeah, and I think we agreed on
I think
that.
we agreed on that. It needs a membership, it needs a serving in ministry and nothing else, no plan to protect. no-
Well, the only exception would be if it was a plan to, if it was a small group that had children. So right now we have one
Would
group
there
like
be,
that.
would there be any small groups that had children where their parents weren't part of the, weren't part of the same?
That's
school?
a good point. Yeah, the
that's,
parents would
uh,
always be there. So never mind, you're right.
We're good with small group leader then?
Yeah.
Okay. Church librarian, we have no membership, yes to plan to, I'm sorry, yes to serving in ministry, no plan to protect, no police clearance. Librarian need a serving in ministry application?
That's what I'm wondering is do we require them to be in alignment?
Well,
to
they're
check
choosing our.
things? They're choosing.
resources.
Oh, that's right. They're the chief librarian
Yeah.
and choosing leadership.
Me and Steve do want to go to the library and do a little bit of a theological analysis. So in theory, the church librarian needs serving in ministry, but me and Steve might just override whatever decision they make anyway.
Yeah.
So
Amen.
in theory, if we want to just get them in the role, we could just remove that requirement
No background?
for the
No.
library.
Feeling
No.
book.
This isn't a public library. I've seen those
I've
books.
watched too many criminals.
Oh.
So what do we land on serving in ministry application? Was that a keep or was that a discard?
This guy.
So they should.
I'd say you could discard it if you want.
Because the pastoral team will. be
And
provided
we are working on the like the leadership group
Mhm.
and all that, so I think this
Oh,
It's
okay.
good.
And it's another spot where you can serve without.
Exactly.
So the church librarian requires nothing.
No.
Okay, and the library assistant, we also have as requiring nothing. That makes sense
have
of the
that
library.
too.
Yeah.
Primary librarian
Librarian
makes
doesn't,
nothing. Okay.
yeah.
We have materials preparation, copying, kids crafts, kids snacks. We have no requirements for that.
Correct.
Everybody's on board, okay? Snack preparation, sorry, I rolled that into the above rambling. We also have no requirements for that. Okay, that brings us to missions and outreach.
So was there another one? Where'd she go?
Caution.
She just stepped up.
Oh, cause did she have any more on her list? Yeah.
We got library assistant, materials preparation, nope, snack preparation, that's it, and then missions and outreach.
Yeah, she said she had young adult in hers that was not powered.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
I think that was up.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
Previously, yeah. All right, missions and outreach then. We have the missions prayer team. We have no requirements for that.
Nope.
Makes sense, okay.
Mhm.
Community outreach evangelism team. The only requirement we have for that is serving in ministry, which I had flagged as odd that we did require that, but not membership, but we've kind of been through that around a few times and understand why we need one and not the other. So we're gonna keep serving a ministry
Keep-
application,
keep-
no,
yeah.
no membership, no plan to protect, no police clearance. And this is for the community outreach evangelism team. Okay. We have the missionary communication representation. There is no requirements for that. I'm assuming this is people doing like a mission spotlight on a Sunday morning or making announcements about a missionary endeavor.
It's taught there.
Yeah.
Or big-
My video is coming in and out, so I see people looking at me, but I didn't hear what you said.
We asked about the missionary communication representation. It has no requirements. Do you feel like that's a good call?
Well, first of all,
So
what
that's-
is the role first?
That's referencing, we would have a person who's responsible for communicating with each of our missionaries and talking back to us as a committee on what their latest news is or being our representative to them and them to us.
They're not on the committee.
Not necessarily on the committee, right?
Can you give us an example?
So Aaron Blada is a good friend of the Francas, and none of the people on our missions committee happen to know Jan or Anna or Ben very well. So we just charge Aaron with communicating back to us when they're planning to visit us next.
Okay,
He got you.
I do know them pretty well.
So there's no contact with them at all. It's
Yeah,
just-
there
it's
is.
just a verbal
Yeah.
thing.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
then maybe representative would be a better term.
Yeah.
Communication representative instead of representation. Is that fair? I'm just trying to make things consistent. The language.
Yep.
Sounds fair to me.
Thank you, Todd. Volunteers from Matthew House. We have no membership required, serving in ministry required, no police check and no plan to protect. Are refugees considered vulnerable persons? Do they need a background? Do we need a background check to work with those? I mean, they're not children, well, not all of them at least, but they
To
are.
me, that would be up to
there is a
Matthew House
power-
to
Yeah,
vet
yeah,
their.
yeah.
Should
That makes
take care
sense.
of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
and all that.
Yeah. But there is a power imbalance there to be considered, but you're right, that will be a Matthew House requirement. And we're keeping serving in ministry for that one. Sorry, we're keeping serving in ministry for Matthew House
Okay, yes.
volunteers. Okay,
But why, like,
Why?
why? I mean, if somebody wants to serve, they're
Well-
brand new to church, they have nothing, like, this week they showed up and they heard about Matthew, they love it. Why not?
This is for Banwell though. Like they could just go to Matthew House and serve. But if they want to serve as a delegate from Banwell, I think that the serving in ministry would get
Oh,
that
that'd be
alignment.
better. Yeah,
Right.
'cause I,
Okay.
yeah, 'cause Jenny and I were volunteers, but
We can't stop them from serving there, but if they want to be a Banwell representative, we want to
Yep.
just have a little bit of a agreement there.
Okay, so everyone's on board. We're keeping the serving administrator application for a Matthew House volunteer. Todd, what's an off-site service provider? Is this like the communicate, like the
Penguin?
days? No, like, like what, like a day, like a worship day would do it like an old folks home or something?
Yes, exactly. We have two groups that are going to Heron Terrace to do ministry.
I see. Yeah, parent there, that's what I'm thinking of. So we'll keep serving administrator application, but no membership, no police clearance, no plan to protect.
Well, you might wanna have plan to protect if you're going to seniors homes.
Yeah.
Well, that will
Not
fall into the same
planned.
category as Matthew House then.
Not
right? If
planned.
if Huron Terrace needs it, Huron Terrace would ask us for it.
Okay. Fair enough.
And they would, I mean, I agree with you, but I would think they would be together like that. Either the provider we're going to requires it or they.
And I don't think
But
they're
I'm-
working, they're not working individually with those folks, they're putting on like a service.
I'm just wondering if a claim was ever made. Again, this is, I'm
Yeah.
trying to think like Bruce here. If a claim was ever made, would we be in trouble if we didn't have them undergo a vulnerable sector check? No, right?
No, because
They-
they have to.
They
Like,
went
they
into
didn't,
nursing
like-
home, yeah.
Nursing home has to ask
start
us to
passing the
provide.
hat and asking for money
That's
from
the
there.
nursing
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to think of a
Yeah.
scenario of like, could we get in trouble if we didn't ask for it, like the plan protect, for example?
I mean, I'm sure if something bad went down, we'd all be going down.
Yeah.
I imagine that Huron Terrace would be in as much trouble as we
That's
would be
awesome.
at that point.
Okay,
Um,
I just want to make sure we thought it through. Thank you.
no, that's, yeah.
And to be
Okay.
honest, if you volunteer at Matthew House, you have to get a police check anyway,
Do you? Okay.
because I did taxes with them, I had to get a
I see.
police check.
Yeah.
So
That's good to
they
know.
go through that.
Short-term missions leadership, they have to be a member, they have to have a serving administrator application. Do they need it? We have no police clearance, no plan to protect. Do they need a police clearance to lead a short-term missions trip?
Probably.
Not bad idea. Especially if they're going overseas.
Well,
Are they allowed to leave? the
often
country?
our short-term missions
Yeah.
are taking children, and
Yeah,
minor
I know
children,
too.
but still teenagers, children.
Yeah.
Now they're in a foreign country.
Be
Yeah,
understood.
I actually think
You
we
like
could probably bump it up to all the requirements.
For sure.
probably, yeah.
So that's V and C.
Yeah, really. I don't want them scamming out some,
I don't think we have a
Or-
legal
or-
obligation, because if you go to like Guatemala, they won't expect you to have plan to protect, but I think we have a moral obligation
yeah.
to have the highest standard
Mhm.
for the leader.
And this is not a catch-all kind of position. There's gonna be very few people are gonna be doing this one.
So the team.
Okay, short-term missions trip team, we have that as only a serving and ministry application. What is okay with that? Okay. Alpha course leadership team, we have that as only a member and a serving and ministry application. No plan to protect, no police clearance. That's Alpha course leadership team. And check out with everybody, that makes sense? Okay. Alpha course table group facilitators, we have no member but a serving and ministry application. And no plan to protect, no police clearance. Makes sense, yeah. Alpha course meal providers, no requirements. Makes sense to everybody? Okay, back to the CBOQ
They just have
delegates.
to make good food.
No deviled eggs.
What? What?
CBOQ delegate appointees. We have must be a member. I think that's in our constitution anyway. And we have no serving administrator application, but it was listed above. I mean, on one hand, they're not going to be influencing many people on a CBOQ assembly. They're kind of there to, take, but they are voting on our behalf.
They're voting,
and
should be
gonna
voting on.
your
confidential.
Yeah. So we're gonna we'll add in the serving administrator.
Then you made it just to go on those above.
Why would they
Yeah,
go
because
if
the
they
CBOQ
didn't
assembly slash
understand
association
everything in
delegate.
that document?
This is for the appointees. So yeah, they should have all the same
Delegates, yeah.
requirements as the actual delegates, right?
Yeah.
As the delegate.
Oh, delegate
Oh,
appointees. Oh,
Where did
Oh.
you- Oh, was that different?
well, because
compared
you
to the
copied
one-
down for above. I mean, they should be the same, right? Should we just rename it delegates slash appointees? Okay, so I have delegates and appointees to CBOQ, they have to be members, they have to have a serving ministry application. That make sense?
So we've got assembly and association, right? Delegates / appointees, like, so a slash here. We can maybe condense that a little bit. CBOQ, delegates / appointees, doesn't need to be.
Sure.
Because I mean, it's not just CBOQ, if we would just say delegates / appointees, but there's CBOQ, there's the.
Western Association.
Association.
Delegates, appointees, in brackets, CBOQ, Western Association, that way at least if we reference it again, we go, what are these delegates we're
Yes,
talking about
yeah,
here?
CBOQ, /
Okay, seniors ministry, age unlimited, we have no membership. Requires a serving ministry application, no plan to protect, no police clearance.
Did we skip working group related to, or that's a separate?
Oh, no, I thought that was a heading. Is that is,
Isn't that the title?
yes, it's bullet, so I think that's a heading of what we're covering next
Do we
year.
need that? None of the others had that.
Yeah, there's headings through.
Yeah, they got
There's the heading for
plans.
missions and outreach, there's a heading for Christian growth and nurture. Oh, I guess no other committees have a subheading. I'm sure we could. I'm sure we could.
I'll just believe, don't know. I'll keep it.
Seniors and age unlimited, serving a ministry application only.
I was just gonna interject and say, I found the subheading useful just for recognizing that some of those groups don't actually think that they report to missions and outreach.
Fair enough.
We could almost, I think that makes a good point.
I mean, they're still under the missions and outreach umbrella.
Yeah.
We've almost given them more leniency by saying, well, you're not really under
Yes.
missions and outreach,
Yeah,
you're under
yeah.
working groups related to
That's-
missions
that's-
and
that's-
outreach.
Right,
All right.
let them know where they belong.
We're keeping serving in ministry for seniors ministries. Men's ministry, all same thing, only has serving in ministry. That makes sense. We keep that.
I do think that this document, leadership positions tend to be members. So I do want to point out that we are obviously accommodating the fact that we know people don't want to be members and we're going to just ignore that.
But-
It is a little inconsistent.
But I'm saying, is it in perpetuity? Is that something like? The thing is, you make a precedent today,
You can change it tomorrow.
you could change it tomorrow, but. I mean, theoretically, it's a living document, it's not.
Yeah.
It's stopped in the Constitution here, but.
I'm not going to ruffle any feathers this late.
leave it.
Men's ministry breakfast preparation, no requirements. Makes sense, to everybody?
Sorry, just to go back to James's comment, it works for me to require them to be members, but have a personal conversation with people who are already in place and talk about whether we'll grandfather them or not. But that's a conversation larger than we have time for tonight, I think.
Is there a column for that?
I agree.
Okay. Men's ministry, school snack delivery team, no requirements.
Should probably drive.
Okay. Women's ministry leadership team, only serving in ministry application required. Make sense?
Same as above.
Okay, social media and website coordinator. We have only, we have only serving a ministry application required. This is borderline more of like a kind of more into the vein of an office or administrative role. Do we
Yeah,
need a
this is
serving
not.
a ministry application for social media website coordinator?
That include replying
Well, so-
to people's,
No, I wouldn't.
No,
imagine.
so my wife does the Sunday morning.
oh, it's just like
slides,
website
right? Like,
design and
that's
that
not-
kind of stuff?
I'm just saying, like, my wife does the slides. In theory, she could step down, or we have to find someone else.
Which we may be hiring,
Right,
right?
but I'm saying right now, it is a volunteer position,
Right.
so
Okay.
just in terms of what do we expect?
Yeah.
My wife seems to be, right, as the standard.
It seems like a low influence role.
We
I'm wondering
removed
if we
it
can-
from all the tech positions, so I feel like we could technically remove it from this to be consistent.
Is everybody okay with removing it for social media and website coordinator?
The serving.
And serving a ministry application.
You
So
will
there-
be
so there-
overlooking their work anyways,
Well,
and, you know, whatever, if they post something we don't align, that will be taken down quick.
So there is no requirement for social media and website coordinator. News and views coordinator needs a serving a ministry application. I mean, on one hand, I get it, but also.
He needs
they're
everything.
Just putting together.
Jim needs everything.
Ready?
Jim, if you ask Jim, you need everything.
He
You got
needs-
your memory.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the idea is like, if we have to.
Don't ask.
replace Jim.
Yeah.
Which, hopefully one day we will, right?
Yeah.
What are we gonna require that person to have?
Like that's more of a tech role, but what's everyone's thoughts?
Well, I'd say
Do we need a
they're
serving administrator
recording all the
application?
things of the church to ensure that it's in alignment with
That's
that.
true.
We could like
Creativity and-
hire someone and, to freelance it to them, and they might not necessarily be closely affiliated with their community. Right,
Mhm.
so,
So you're feeling no.
yeah, as long as we review it and we're
Yeah.
like, yeah, your
Yeah.
final
Yeah.
product is, we wrote all the articles, you put
Mm-hmm.
it together, we can
Yeah.
publish it.
Yeah, they're really not taking much editorial comment aside from grammar and
That's
spelling.
right.
At least I hope when I put a submission in. Okay, so the news and views coordinator has no requirements then.
No,
News and views editing and publishing team has no requirements.
but the editing does have input, so, I mean, not,
Editing-
again,
the
everyone's
editing is
submitting
the-
stuff,
Yeah.
so I don't know how much influence, but. I'm okay with saying no.
To change a deed without.
Yeah.
American English Saves Inc.
Under finance committee, we have the treasurer needs a membership, needs a serving administrator application and needs a police check. We just need a criminal police check, right? Not a
Right,
vulnerable
just
sector in
just
that case, yeah.
He needs the.
For the treasurer and
Offering commission.
what's offering
Great.
question?
You don't do that anymore.
It's supposed to be the
Oh.
counter, more the counters.
The counter?
Yeah.
Well, but you've got their question
You got
and counting,
Counting,
That should be one.
yeah, it should be one.
Yep.
so offering.
Money handlers.
And then I just wanted to add envelopes to
Well,
it.
can we just put money hand? Can we put like something more generic like money handlers or?
That's what I just.
Oh, you have for like events.
Money
where
handlers.
money, right?
Yeah.
Offering
That's a good idea.
counters is
But if-
very nice. Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
also taking the deposit to the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Handlers is a good word.
Money handlers.
for
yeah,
events where
Money
money's
handlers,
raised.
that's a better.
That's a good idea.
Tide handler.
And giving and envelopes to it.
Separate.
So I'm
It's separate.
treasurer needs 1, 2, and 3. Treasurer needs a membership, serving a ministry, and a criminal background check. Okay. Offering collector or money handler, we're rolling these two together.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call it money handler.
Okay.
Mhm.
Needs the same 3, a membership, serving a ministry,
And then there was one more.
and a
Envelope steward.
envelope steward.
I'll put that one there.
And they need the same 3.
Mhm.
Okay, that is all for finance. Property. We have facilities use supervision. You have to be a member, you have to have a serving administrator application, and you have to have a police clearance.
So I'm making all these like actual roles, so the supervision, so supervisor. So you supervisor.
Right,
Yeah.
yes, that's right, yeah.
But that's not falling under typically now, property committee.
Yeah, this is under property committee, yes. I'm sorry, we are under the property heading.
Right, but that supervisor position for, read what that it was again, because that's not. what-
Faculty
Facility-
use supervision.
Facility
Yeah.
use supervision or supervisor.
But that's not part of property anymore.
Oh, you don't have that position.
It's not, was it part
No.
of?
That was done by staff right now. Till we get a coordinator for the facility.
But in theory, we will.
Oh.
But it won't be on the property.
No,
That can be.
This still holds a standard for people we
Yeah.
hire
Yeah.
too, so.
yeah.
I think all 3. You got
Yeah.
criminal backgrounds. Do we require vulnerable?
For facility use
Whoever's
supervision,
handling a group there should, yeah.
be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Second.
Yes or no to one?
I'm hearing no. No to vulnerable
So
because.
just criminal.
Well, criminal is even higher, isn't it?
Well, that's a higher one, that's
Yeah,
the.
I think we should do just vulnerable.
I think it's higher. I think
Vulnerable
this is
is usually
The
children.
criminal, like the
children
vulnerable,
and
just, I don't know what it does, but it
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
check to see
The
if you
criminal
killed
check.
anybody.
Yeah, it's like, I don't even know
But
why
the-
you would
the
have that
other
as supervision. Like, why would they need a police check to be supervising the facility?
I guess just because we're trusting them with keys. to the
Yeah,
facility.
with
Okay,
Well,
I would say
that's why I do
criminal.
want.
then I would say,
Yeah.
I'd say criminal then.
That's what I would say is just.
Yeah. Vulnerable is just you're dealing with youth, children or elderly.
And they need a serving administrator application. That makes sense. They need a serving administrator application. Okay. Decorating team coordinator. They don't have to be a member, but they need a serving administrator application. No police check, no plan to protect.
I personally think they should be a member if they're kind of setting the tone for what our church looks like.
And I almost feel like they don't necessarily need to be sign the serving ministry application. Like that one where I think you could be a member, have, for whatever reason, a reservation, like, does it matter to you what, like, if you have?
This is a
Like
joke, this we
evening?
can ask,
I
tell
mean, we're
John,
not- we're not
John,
getting
this
to
is
the
a.
point. Yeah.
He can
Yes,
decorate.
we are putting-
Membership, but you don't have to sign, John, you can do decorating.
That seems like a very easy one to get somebody
That's what I'm
in the
saying,
door
I'm
on board.
in the door on
I don't
something.
But you need to be, you need to be a member?
You
Couldn't resist.
gotta have, you gotta
John,
be a
please.
but do you need?
Is this for decorating team coordinator or members?
Coordinator, do you need to have theological alignment to be a coordinator?
The decorator?
Not really, I guess, but
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying, is like, a member, yeah, because you have skin in the game, but.
Well, I think that it might be nice to still have it because in theory, there's a few examples. I don't want to go through them all, but one would be if we're going to celebrate somebody as like, here's the coordinator of our church. Here's the person that makes this place look so beautiful. They are a public facing
guess,
individual in
yeah.
some sense.
Yeah.
And I think we should keep it.
Could we maybe, I don't want to drag this on, but could we not turn that decorating committee person or coordinator into funeral coordinator and wedding coordinator? As far as the church property is concerned.
Well, that's an interesting idea, but I think they do think that is a conversation.
Yeah, and that's what I mean,
Or it could potentially get rolled in with
Yeah,
with the committee we're talking about.
Because
to
we
rent out
do
the
not,
building, but
yeah.
definitely a conversation for another
Yeah,
day.
that's
It's a
an,
very interesting idea.
that's an outreach center. We're talking about.
Yeah.
If that coordinator is gonna be the outside. For the outreach center,
Well, no, this is gonna
I
be
don't think
coordinated for rentals of the whole building.
because we used to have
We also rent out. the
coordinator
auditorium.
for-
Yep.
weddings and funerals. So that'd be the first person that pastor would call in to help, make sure there's. So it's something that should be added soon, or at least
I think it needs
discussed.
to be added to that whole supervision,
Mhm.
that
That's
time.
That's,
Because that, there was a call today for somebody that wants a wedding.
Yep.
And I have nothing to go by, so
Yeah.
I think that's gotta be rolled into that. That person could be very much setting it all.
wow, that's
Yeah,
weddings,
Oh, yeah.
funerals,
yeah.
outreach center.
Decorating team members, we have no requirements.
No,
Set up and tear down for events,
No.
we have no requirements.
You
Assisting,
need volunteers there.
assisting the custodian, we have no requirements.
no,
Maintenance duties, we have no requirements.
no,
Landscaping and gardening, we have no requirements.
no,
Under human resources, we have the office assistant, we have no requirements. We need a criminal background check. Gives access to sensitive information, financial documents,
Only for.
It's saying publications and mailings.
publications, and
So
mailings.
it's more
Yes,
coming in a folding paper.
I got you.
So I think we're good.
Paper.
Deleted.
Sorry, I don't want to belabor the
Paper.
point, but Ross,
Paper.
you had Cheryl send some stuff, I think like a couple days ago. Did we get all the possible roles in here?
yeah, I eliminated some of them,
2 weeks ago, you mean?
Yeah, sorry.
yeah, there was two of them in there. Stacking chair, labor,
Casual labor?
yeah, like for setting up the gym.
Something on
or
the
tearing
floor.
down.
Is that me?
Yeah, I see
Yeah, we have casual labor on here.
I'll send it to you.
Labor's
I'll go
there.
back and
They're
find
set up and tear down.
I see.
Yeah,
casual
set up it.
labor.
Serious.
But that wasn't part of property
it.
anymore.
Yeah, so tear down.
No, you're right. They're on human resources and we got them under here.
Yeah.
So yeah, office assistant for publications and mailings, there's no requirements. Casual labor, there is no requirements. A summer jobs intern needs everything except membership.
Yep.
That's the whole list.
Woo-hoo.
Oh,
Can I just make one comment, going back
Please.
to the men's ministry from the school snack delivery team, because they are involved with children. They go into the schools,
Yeah, they talk to them.
so the background check should be in there.
Oh,
I
Is
think
that-
I
they,
feel like that'd be on the
Yeah,
school.
but-
then.
Is that like the same category as Matthew?
Same
as the school of your responsibility.
If they were worried, they would
Retirement.
ask.
well, okay.
Yeah, I would
But
leave
the
it.
guys have it, they got it,
Sure.
they got it.
Yeah, but we shouldn't be required.
We could ask the guys, be like, hey, have the schools ever asked you for a vulnerable sector check?
No, they just,
Again, it comes back to this question that Dave posed of, are we willing to track that, all these people, right? We have to be committed.
Somebody
to
had-
that.
I mean, schools are, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I think schools are on lockdown pretty hard.
Yeah.
I don't think they're letting any Bangwell yahoos in and around
Yeah.
with the kids without proper documentation.
nobody's saying that.
I think we may have been wrong about the background check.
Mm.
Because it says here that the vulnerable, like the criminal record check includes convictions, outstanding charges, warrants, and judicial orders. And then the vulnerable one says required if you are working or volunteering with children, elderly, or vulnerable individuals. This includes the aforementioned items plus findings of guilt and specific sex offenses. So it is the vulnerable.
Higher.
I was thinking the criminal one was the more in-depth, but it's the, all of those should be
So
vulnerable.
it has to be C or a B.
Or B.
Yeah. All of them should be vulnerable. So that's.
Can I get a motion to adopt this list as we have just hashed it out here? Darky, we can't make a motion. So.
I just wanna go home.
Yes.
I was hoping for.
Dave moved. Aaron moved second.
It's my fault.
Yeah.
All in favor? Any opposed?
Aaron seconded?
Motion carried. Aaron seconded. Dave made it. Aaron seconded.
Aaron.
Can I get a motion to adjourn? Sorry, is there any pressing business we need to discuss?
Chance.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Sure.
Seconded by Aaron. All in favor? All right. Closes in prayer, guys. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for this church that you entrusted to our stewardship. Thank you for watching over us and guiding our conversations tonight. Please be with us and keep us safe as we return home to our families. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Guys, thank you for putting up with this. I know it's a bit of a marathon. I very much appreciate it.
You're gone.
Dave,
Yeah.
thank you very much for your service over the last 3 years. We appreciate you picking up the ball with the outreach center and the fundraising and the financing. That was a big ball that got thrown in your lap in the 11th hour and you took it and you ran it down the field and we really appreciate it.
Yep, thanks.
Ross, thank you as well. We appreciate all the extra work that you put up and got the maintenance done and got the buildings in order and gotten everything ready and our contracts all figured out.
Appreciate both of you guys.
But now you,
Thanks for serving.
Is a check in the mail?
no, he's on the team now. He's got demoted.
You're on the pit team. only.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
You know what? We're gonna double your pay.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
The same thing you got last year, right?
I pushed her on because it's up to the door.
Oh, if you want to.
That's
I got one.
You want to do a team? I have a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
I have some slide deck.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All I have to do is-
Yeah, if you want to, sure.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know. Go for it. Go for it. I'm not a micromanager.
I'll be my last little,
No, thank you.
and,
I'm sure you. Yeah, I'll send the.
Okay.
I just, like I said.
Hey, babe.
You have to speak up. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm taught, I'm preaching the vision for the kingdom of Israel to Israel. And Rick Bowen goes to counselors on one hand and his counselors on the other. And it's painful. It's painful. And you don't listen to wise counsel.
I always lost this. Give me your, that's what
Sure.
this is how I think.
Yeah.
I want to.
Appreciate what you guys did in your committee.
Yeah, it's a great.
Did you leave them in the car?
I don't know.
Presentation.
You know what happens? So anyone could have left with my car by now.
Yeah.
The keys are.
Mine are always in
Bye,
my purse
everybody.
because I don't need them.
Good night, Todd.
Take care, Todd.
Good night.
Good night, Todd.
It's all, thank you.
Well,
No, I appreciate that.